August 7, 1971, Jets against the Lions. The quarterback, number 12, Joe Willie Namath. The handoff to Lee White. The search for running room not to be found. The fumble. The pickup by middle linebacker Mike Lucci. The attempted tackle by Namath. The Lucci score incidental. What of Namath? Perhaps another full season on the sidelines. Look at it again. The attempted tackle. The failure to achieve. And then watch Paul Newmorf, the outside linebacker, on the Namath knee. And all over again, the shock of pain.
Seconds to air. Stand by, all cameras.
Ready with slow motion and isolated cameras.
Stand by, videotape, and roll tape.
And tape is rolling in less than 5, in 3, 2, 1.
Take tape.
Live from Municipal Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, it's the New York Jets versus the Kansas City Chiefs. NFL Monday Night Football is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invites you to come in and test drive the 1971 Fords, the cars with better ideas. And by Firestone. The name that's known is Firestone, where the rubber meets the road. There is Joe Willie Namath, number 12, sidelined possibly for the entire season, certainly for much of the season, but with his teammates tonight to spur them on for this game against the Kansas City Chiefs, old and bitter rivals. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another season of NFL Monday Night Football. I'm Howard Cosell. My colleagues, Don Meredith and Frank Gifford, will be filling you in on some of the finer points and people to look for in tonight's game in just a moment. But perhaps, too, you should take note of these things on both teams. First, the emergence of number 75 on the Jets, Winston Hill, as a right tackle. He's been moved over from the left side. And second, Roger Finney, number 61, becomes a defensive tackle on the left side tonight. And on the Kansas City side, view, if you will, Marvin Upshaw, number 81, as a replacement for the now retired great defensive end Jerry Mays. And view, too, if you will, the angular one at 6'8" to 6'10". Nobody's measured him really yet. Morris Stride, critical tight end position in Hank Stram's scheme of things. He succeeds the retired Fred Arbanis. Now to find out more about what to look for on the respective offenses, it's with great delight that I turn the microphone over to my colleague of a year ago, the lowercase John Wayne of American sport, Don Merritt.
I've fought a lot of battles in my time, Howard, and I've won them all. And tonight's no exception. Tonight is a good football game. The New York Jets are not the New York Jets that Coach Webank would like to have fielded tonight. Howard has pointed out basically the main reason. Al Woodall, in his third year from Duke, is the quarterback who's to take Joe Namath's place. He's certainly not a Joe Namath, but who is. Number 13 on your screen is Don Maynard, who is the all-time pass receiver in yardage in professional football from Texas Western University. These two guys are the spearhead of their offense. They have a great defensive team, which Frank will touch on a little bit more a little later. On the Kansas City side, we have a good friend of mine, Lenny Dawson, number 16. They call him the governor. He's the guy that's in charge. And his right-hand man, number 89, Otis Taylor, who's probably, if he is not the best, I don't know anybody that is better as an outside receiver. He is big, strong, and fast, and can catch over the middle. He's also a great runner when he gets the ball. I'm looking forward to an exciting season. This tonight will be no exception from, I hope, what the games we'll have for you all year long. And now Frank Gifford, my idol for years, will tell you about the defense.
In just a moment, he will. I've got to tell you, when Don said Webank, he was just repeating an old Weeb Eubank joke, because everywhere Weeb goes on the banquet circuit, they inevitably call him Eub Webank. And now, with great, great pride, Our newest colleague for this season, the former Giant football great, of course, glorious and fearless Frank Gifford.
Thank you, Howard. You two, please try and get along a little bit and help me tonight. One of Don knew was telling a joke. Don spoke of the offense, all right, but there's a lot of great defensive football players on both of these teams here this evening. The New York Jets led the American Football Conference last year in defense, and deservedly so. They needed it because last year Joe was also out. They have some fine cornerbacks, and let's take a look at their number 1 draft pick of 2 years ago, number 21, Steve Tannen, who is really starting to come into his own. Number 80 is Big John Elliott. He wasn't big 5 years ago when he came to the Jets. He weighed 220 pounds. He goes about 245 now, and as Howard recalls, I mentioned to him about 4 or 5 years ago, I said, this looks like a great football player. He goes 110% at all times. Kansas City Chiefs, well, they were number 2 in the American Football Conference in overall defense. They have some great defensive players. They have fine cornerbacks, and Jimmy Marcellus, number 40 at their left cornerback, is indeed a great one. He is an expert at the bump and run. The big man on his right is the middle linebacker. That's Willie Lanier, 6'1", 245 pounds of pure agility and football player. He covers the 4 and the 5 hole as good as any middle linebacker in the league. He also gets back well on the pass. 2 great defensive football teams, and Howard, there's not too good of blood between these 2 teams either.
Hasn't been for a long time, Giff, and especially after that title game, or at least a chance to face an opposing division winner and go to the Super Bowl 2 years ago when the Chiefs beat the Jets 13-6. Of course, the Jets are without George Sauer Jr., retired. Steve Thompson abruptly retired. And above all, they are without, by consensus, vote of all of the coaches in the NFL, the most wanted quarterback in the league, Joe Willie Namath, with whom I spoke earlier. Time for a current hospital report, Joe.
Well, Howard, so far everything's going fine. My knee hasn't bothered me in a couple of weeks. I've had some pain in my foot. I had the stitches removed a few days ago from my knee, and the doctors are optimistic about it, and so am I.
So that you're beginning to really believe that you will be able to come back, as Dr. Nicholas projected, by mid-November.
Well, right, and those people that know Dr. Nicholas know what kind of a man he is as far as injuries are concerned. He's a very pessimistic kind of fella. And if he feels that I can be back by the middle of November, I think I can get back a little sooner.
But still, Joe, at the very least until mid-November, this club will be playing without you at quarterback, without the great wide receiver George Sauer Jr., and without a quality defensive lineman, Steve Thompson, who abruptly retired. How good in the face of those losses can the Jets be?
Well, I don't know, Howard. I don't think anybody can really tell how well we'll do until actually we get underway. But there's no doubt about it. Losing Sauer and more recently Steve Thompson as a tremendous blow to our team as far as personnel is concerned. But the coaches are optimistic, which they have to be. The team's optimistic, which that's the only attitude to have, and we just have to overlook what problems we've had and try and correct them. Not overlook them, but correct them and go from there.
Quite candidly, is the Super Bowl dream gone?
Oh, no. The only time that Super Bowl dream is gone is when you're definitely eliminated, and we're sure not eliminated yet. We got 14 weeks of the regular season, and anything can happen. I remember last year when the Baltimore Colts played these Kansas City Chiefs and got just about humiliated.
44-24. It was a Monday night game on ABC.
That's right, a Monday night game on ABC, and you saw what the Baltimore Colts did later. So football being a kind of game it is, anything can happen.
Final question, relative to tonight's game against Kansas City. You've often said there's no team tougher to prepare for than Kansas City. Why?
Well, if you look at Kansas City, personnel-wise, defensively, they're outstanding. Last year, I think they played six members on the All-Pro team defensively, which, of course, the New York Jets can't quite accept because we led the league in defense. We kind of feel we got the best defense going. But they are hard to prepare against because they have so many outstanding individuals, and they're just a good, hard-hitting, good football team.
It's good to see you, my friend, and you're looking much better than you did in the hospital. I hope you get back in November, and in truth, I think every football fan feels this way. Your loss is not to the Jets, but to professional football. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Howard. I hope I'm back soon.
We'll be back with the opening kickoff in just one moment.
Down. They're going down. Tour prices to Australia to me down $100 or more, and all because of Qantas. Down. and down. I hate Qantas. Some name Qantas.
There may never be a better time to buy a new car than right now. There are three very good reasons. First, prices are frozen. New car prices will be based on 1971 levels until November 12th. After that, it's anybody's guess. Two, the proposed repeal of the federal excise tax. If Congress enacts the president's proposal, the price of a new Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury automobile will drop an average of about $200 a car. The repeal is expected to be retroactive to August 15th. And three, this is the traditional time of the year when Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealers offer clearance prices on the cars they have in stock. There may never be a better time to buy a new car. To help you when you do, Ford Motor Company has written a book. The book is called Car Buying Made Easier. You see, Ford figures if you become a smarter car buyer, they'll get their share of the business. For your free copy of the book, write Ford Motor Company Listens, The American Road, Dearborn, Michigan. They listen better, and they'd like to hear from you.
You're looking at Bobby Howfield, who will get this game underway, the kickoff man for the New York Jets. Bobby Howfield, who will be handling the place kicking and the kicking duties and going deep, is number 32. This is Tony Esposito and Bobby Sensabaugh, brother Mike Sensabaugh. Correction, we've had a number change. Mike Adderley has gone deep for the Jets. Bobby Howfield to get the game underway. Off the side of the foot. And Sensabaugh will let it go out of bounds. That will be a 5-yard assessment against the New York Jets. The ball being back now, coming back to the 35-yard line. And as they bring it back, we look deep at Mike Sensabaugh, All-American from Ohio State, Mike Adamley from Northwestern, both young rookies with good chances to make this ball club. Bobby Howfield setting it up again, 5'9", 180 pounds. Came to the Jets from Denver in an off-season trade that saw Jim Turner, the Jets kicker for many years, travel to Denver. All right, we'll underway again. Sensabaugh at the 5. Sensabaugh pounding over the 33-yard line where John Mooring is there along with number 46 of the Jets, Rich Souls. So the Jets will take over, and as you are probably well aware, there have been many changes here this evening, but we are seeing a veteran Kansas City Chief team opening up this ball game. Lynn Dawson, the quarterback.
And you saw Bobby Howfield kick off just the way Weeb Eubank doesn't want him to.
First and 10 from about the 32-yard line. Lynn Dawson moving Frank Pitts to the left. Otis Taylor to the right. And Dawson wants the deep already. Taylor has the ball in the crossover. Otis Taylor over the 50-yard line where he's dropped by Gus Holloman.
I love to see it. Open it up. Let's get it going.
Otis Taylor.
You see it here on the split screen. Makes a fake into the backfield. Otis Taylor coming in from the right end position, number 89, coming across. It's a crossing pattern. The thing that's helped this thing out more than anything else is old Lenny had lots of time to throw. Otis was wide open, came across the middle, and this guy can run. Can't believe that one man got him.
First and 10 now on the Jets' 49-yard line. Lynn Dawson, at quarterback. Ed Podolak, one setback, along with Robert Holmes, number 45. Pitch to the left, Taylor to the right. This is Podolak over the middle for about 3 yards. 3 yards. He is met there, Ralph Baker. Running down that defensive lineup for the Jets. Number 81 is Jerry Philbin, a defensive left end. Roger Finney, moving over from the offense, number 61, is the starting left tackle. The right left tackle, John Elliott, number 80. Mark Lomas, the right defensive end, number 84. At right linebacker, number 60, Larry Grantham. In the middle, Al Atkinson, number 62. Ralph Baker is the left linebacker, number 51. Second down now and 7 for the Kansas City Chiefs. The ball game just underway. From the 41. Kodalak. Finding a big hole behind the left guard, Ed Buddy. The left tackle, Jim Tyre.
Larry Grantham, number 60, and Al Atkinson, 62.
It'll be short of the first down, just short of the 40-yard line. Third down, and now about 2.
Ball spotted at the 40, third and a long yard.
Out to the right goes Otis Taylor, covered there by Steve Tannen, number 21. Frank Pitts. Again, the play fake. Robert Holmes in the flat. Robert the Tank Holmes inside the Jets' 25-yard line.
There's nothing makes a play-action pass go any better than good running.
And there's nothing that makes Bobby Holmes look better than the 30 pounds he's lost since last year. Remember, he opened the season out of weight last year, Don. He was at 245, and he's a small fella. This year he's at 215 and is playing like he did the Super Bowl year.
You know, Howard, we were talking to Coach Stram yesterday, and every man on his team is playing at a little bit lower weight than they did last year. All of his big guys on defense are all a little bit lower, too. He's got them in there lean and mean.
Lean and mean. They're the most monstrously sized team in football. They're still huge.
First and 10 now from about the 21-yard line. Out to the left is Frank Pitts. Tight on the right side, Otis Taylor. The setbacks, Kodalak and Holmes. Again, the play fake. Dawson looking again for Taylor. He has him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Otis Taylor and Lynn Dawson opens up with electricity.
That's got to be the same thing he called a while ago. Same kind of pattern. You'll see it again on split screen. And then he fakes that run. Don't know really whether Otis was his number one man or not. He looks at him. He kept coming across the middle. The Jets seem to be mixed up in their secondary because they're not covering him man for man.
Well, Steve Tannen was supposed to, but didn't, Don. And the important thing, as you pointed out, Dawson had all day to throw.
Jan Stenerud right through the middle. And the Chiefs get off early. And with timeout, the score, the Kansas City Chiefs 7, the New York Jets nothing.
You said you wanted to uncomplicate your life. Remember? Start now with the Schick injector system. We designed it for better balance so it's more maneuverable, easier to control, because we believe a good, clean shave should be a simple, natural act. Schick injector system. Simplify.
For viewing pleasure, it's a miniskirt. But for driving pleasure, it's Firestone's new mini sport tire for import cars. The tire that's styled for foreign cars, but engineered for American highways. Get the comer on performance. Firestone Mini Sport. Whether your bag is the country lane or the open road, you're ahead with Firestone. Available in sizes to fit almost all foreign cars. Buy the Mini Sport on easy terms and at mini prices now at most Firestone dealers and stores.
Jan Stenerud getting ready to kick off. Lenny Dawson in 5 plays, moving the Kansas City Chiefs to a 7-0 lead over the New York Jets. Deep for the Jets, number 27, Phil Wise, and number 22, Vern Studdard. Deep in the end zone. They won't run this one back. And Howard, I think that's what you were referring to a moment ago.
Exactly, Giff. Kansas City started its drive with field position because Bobby Howfield didn't get off the kind of kick that Eubank expects from him all year long.
So the Jets will take over now. First and 10 on the 20-yard line. At quarterback, Al Woodall, replacing the injured Joe Namath. There's Joe. A sad story. Joe came to camp fully dedicated to playing football this year. As he watches his teammates now operating from the 20-yard line, they're down 7-0 in the early going. Emerson Boozer, Matt Snell the setbacks. Maynard to the right, Castor to the left. This is Snell.
Snell should be watched closely by the viewers around the country tonight because he comes off that Achilles tendon surgery. And while he's shown flashes, it's the general conviction of both himself and his teammates that he has yet to let it all out, that there is still within him, deep somewhere, a kind of fear. It takes time to get over it. So let's watch Snell.
On second down from the 22.5-yard line. Again, Castor to the left where he is covered by Emmett Thomas. To the right, Don Maynard, covered closely. Jimmy Marcellus. Woodall going to Castor, bobbles the ball. He's hit hard by Thomas.
No excuse for that one, Don. He was looking for the tackler while he was handling the ball.
Well, he sure dropped it, all right. They wouldn't have picked up too much if he had even caught it. It would look like to me the route was maybe cut off a little bit short. Wouldn't have gained more than 2 or 3 yards on that thing.
And we're back in the passing situation now. 3rd down and 8. We told you the cornerbacks for the Chiefs. We'll tell you that Jim Kearney is the tight safety. The free safety, the great Johnny Robinson. Triple flanker right goes Al Woodall on 3rd and 7 from the 22.5. Going deep, way too deep, and Johnny Robinson, the free safety, just about shags that one.
Robinson was wide open. Of course, he was throwing to Maynard. I don't understand how those guys play on that close. And then they are getting a lot faster. That Marcellus got great speed. He was right there on him, and he ran with him all the way. The ball was way overthrown.
And we are looking at Gerald Wilson. And what a fine punter he is. Excuse me, this is Steve O'Neill. On 4th down, he'll be kicking from about the 15-yard line, getting off a good kick. And it's bobbled. Lewis Porter bobbles the ball at about the 42, picks it up, and is drilled back to about the 34-yard line.
Number 26, Lewis Porter.
Did you ever return punts, Frank?
Number 82.
Did you ever return punts?
Well, I did, but they found out about me, Don. I
tell you,
didn't like it back there.
That's guys, when they made him a defensive back.
I wondered did you know Gifford was all pro on offense and defense the same year, which is true. I have a lot of admiration. But those guys standing back there catching those kicks like that, I just don't see how they do it.
Feel like calling for a fair catch right here. 1st and 10 now from the 34.5-yard line. The Kansas City Chiefs. Lynn Dawson again. Their stacked offense to the right. It may look funny, but it's effective. Robert Holmes, Ed Podolak, the setbacks. Now in motion is Frank Pitts. Robert Holmes banging for about 3 to 4 yards over to the right side of the Jets.
Banging right at Roger Finney, and you can expect a lot of that tonight since Finney is essaying his first task as a defensive tackle.
2nd down now and about 6 yards. Early Thomas, the right cornerback for the Jets, as we look into the huddle, the Kansas City Chiefs, 45. Steve Tannen on the left side, number 21. Starting at the free safety this evening, Chris Perasopoulos for the Jets, number 19. Gus Holloman's the tight safety, number 48. 2nd down now and 6. Again, the motion designed to shuffle that Jet defense, as you see, all on the line of scrimmage. Dawson rolling out. Pitts with a beautiful move against Gus Holloman.
That was also a fantastic throw by Lenny. John Elliott hit him pretty good. Now, this is the thing that Hank Stram believes in, and I happen to go along with it, too. Man, let's get that quarterback moving out there. He don't have to go back. You'll see Pitts come out to his motion position. Somebody's got to cover him. Motion is a very effective and a good comeback move. Lenny made a great move going to his left and throwing to his right. That's one of the hardest things for a quarterback, right-handed quarterback to do.
And just as Hank Stram had designed the play, he wanted to get them out of that almost a 9-man line. You saw Holloman chasing Pitts as he came up. 1st down now for the Kansas City Chiefs on the Jets' 47-yard line. Miller to the right, headed by Tannen. Holmes driving up the middle as is he driving. Over the 45 to about the 42, Robert Holmes.
Again, right over Finney's spot. And the point you were making a moment ago on the Frank Pitts pass from Dawson is exactly what Hank was telling us off the blackboard last night. You remember, Frank? The way the Jets sometimes line up defensively in order to deceive the opposition, it can almost look like a 7-line man. Reduce the number of people against you is the Stram theory, and you begin to reduce them by movement, by putting Pitts in motion in that latter case.
And Lenny Dawson is reducing the Jets. He is 4 for 4, 75 yards. Second down. Out to the right goes Otis Taylor. Bump and run for the Jets. Tannen up on Taylor. To the right, Early Thomas up on Frank Pitts. And they talked this one over a little too long. Well,
You see old Jim Tyre, he says, don't you hit my quarterback. That's where my money is. He was keeping him off of him. Atta boy, Jim.
Could be a long evening for Jerry Philbin against Jim Tyra, I'll tell you.
You're talking about Roger Finney. He's got a pretty good man blocking on him, too. The old Aggie, Texas Aggie, Mo Mormon, and he is some kind of strong.
Not too bad. Number 76.
There's the man right there, Hank Stram.
second down now and 11, this time from the 49. Same offensive set, same coverage. Tannen on Taylor to the right. Thomas over to the right side, and Al Atkinson drops Robert Holmes off the right side.
62, the tackler.
So we'll be now in a third and about a 7 situation. The defensive huddle of the Jets.
Third and 6.
Number 45, Early Thomas. Passing down, Don.
Yeah, he's going to throw, but I don't think he's missed one yet.
4 for 4 is Lenny Dawson now on 3rd and 7 from the 45. Elliott almost gets there and is picked off. Barry Grantham dropping deep from his right linebacking spot. Picks off the football, and again, heavy pressure from John Elliott.
He really did have a lot of pressure. He still hadn't missed one.
He's an amazing fella, that Larry Grantham. They keep writing him off every year. He never had the size, they said, to be the corner linebacker. He only goes in at 210 pounds, and he's not very tall. But he is very quick still, despite his veteran years, and very wise, and he proved it then.
A lot of folks may wonder who he's calling. He's not calling home to talk to Mom and Dad.
1st and 10 now from the 44-yard line. Al Woodall directing the Jets attack. Maynard to the right, Castor to the left. Snell fighting for yardage over on the right side. Matt Snell comes into a lot of company over there. Bobby Bell coming all the way from the left side. Also over there, Aaron Brown, Big Buck Buchanan. Tackles for the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 86, Buck Buchanan on the right side. Curly Cope, 61 on the left side. Marvin Upshaw is the defensive left end. Aaron Brown, as we mentioned, the right defensive end. In the middle, Big Willie Lanier at the middle linebacking spot, 63. 78 is Bobby Bell on the left side. On the right side, Jim Lynch. 2nd down now and 8. Castor to the left, Maynard to the right. Looking for Maynard. He has him. Don Maynard beating Jim Marcellis.
Maynard, you take over on the split screen coming up, if you will, Don.
Well, number one, it's a heck of a throw by Al Woodall. He goes back, he sets good. You'll see Maynard coming in on the right side of your screen. He just gives an outside move. He comes across the middle. Marcellus was off of him a little bit, but that pass was right on the money. Caught him in a man-to-man coverage. You saw the 4 men rushing pretty strong, so he beat him man-to-man.
And the quick point I wanted to make, Frank, was Maynard has beaten Marcellus in the past and has great confidence against him.
1st down and 10 for the Jets on the Kansas City Chiefs, 34-yard line. The Chiefs out in front, 7-0, midway to the first quarter. Woodall again lobbing one. This time the bump and run effective by Jimmy Marcellus against Don Maynard. Maynard complaining to the officials that it was a little more vigorous than just bump and run.
And a little later in the show, Don is going to explain pass interference.
No question about it.
Okay, Al Woodall steps into the Jet huddle on 2nd and long yardage. The Jets not a big red dogging team, but when they do red dog, they like to come on 2nd and long yardage. Castor goes to the left to be covered there by Emmett Thomas. Number 18 to the right is Don Maynard, and you see how tight Marcellus is up on Don Maynard, the bottom of your screen. 2nd and 10. Out it goes to Matt Snell under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that one really gets tough, Frank. They didn't block old Upshaw as he came in there, and they were trying to run a little quick screen out to the side.
Flag is down.
Dave Herman.
Jim Lynch dogging from his right side. When you send those backs out of the backfield, Don, you should keep your backs in.
That's the way I always looked at it. Get all the help you can get, Frank.
Kansas City. Defensive holding, automatic first down. New York Jets on the Chiefs' 23-yard line. And coming into the ball game, Lee White, number 34. Out goes Matt Snell.
This is make-or-break night for Lee White. The Jets are loaded with fine running backs, and they're getting near the next cut-down day.
On 1st and 10, both wide receivers, Castor 88, Maynard 13, come to the right. The tight end, Lamons, is to the left side. The backs are split. Lee White, Emerson Boozer. Lamons appeared to be offsides. Flags, whistles. Accusing finger pointed at Pete Lamons. Will give us time to tell you that our officials this evening are referee Fred Silva. The umpire is Tony Sacco. The head linesman Ray Sonnenberg. The line judge Bruce Alford. The back judge is Hugh Gamber. The field judge Pat Millett. First now and 15 for Al Woodall. Matt Snell back into the ball game. Again, both wide receivers come to the right. Emmett Thomas comes all the way over from his defensive right cornerback to go head up with Rich Castor. Marcelli's right on the top of Don Maynard. 1st and 15.
Whoa. Goodness.
Big
Aaron Brown. Memories of Joe Kapp in the Super Bowl, Frank. Aaron Brown. What a football player. Had an off year last year, but Hank says this year he is the Aaron Brown of 2 years ago.
He played hurt a lot last year. He
Exactly so.
Leg trouble. He's trying to keep you straight on some of those details, Howard. I'm pretty good on those details.
Don, we're counting on you for a long season.
I know you are.
2nd down and 27 yards for Al Woodall. The Chiefs well aware of pass, but still their cornerbacks up tight. Maynard to the right for the Jets. To the left is Castor. The draw play to Snell. Didn't fool anyone. Willie Lanier. First, what else are you going to call on 2nd and 27, Don?
Well, I think I'd ask Namath. Woodall, that's what I'd done. You got to call a draw or something, Frank. They're going to give you some holes in the middle usually. Try to cut across the middle. That's a dangerous place to throw it. That's where most of them picked off because you got those linebackers to throw over and those backs play for those things coming across the middle. But they usually protect deep. So you see a lot of draws on 3rd and long, or you usually see a lot of turnovers on 3rd and long. Turnovers being interceptions.
3rd and make it 27 for Al Woodall. Maynard comes to the right, Castor to the left. Tight end Lamons to the right. Good protection thus far. Curly Culp. The Woodall is free.
I hope we can show you that one again, folks.
I would think that was extraordinary with absolutely no result.
Marvin Upshaw finally bringing Al Woodall to the ground, and he was twisted around like a pretzel.
You can say that was extraordinarily ineffective.
Exactly so, Don. Marked improvement in your vocabulary this year.
I tell you, Howard, working with you the year, NFL, what I can do another year or two.
O'Neal back to do the punting for the Jets.
That's pretty.
It'll be high. Sensible at the 10, and he's going to let it go, hopefully. And it got into the end zone. Beautiful diving effort there.
O'Neal punt into the end zone for an automatic touchback.
And with timeout, the score is the Kansas City Chiefs, the New York Jets, nothing.
Come, Sancho, let us quest for the world's highest octane gasoline.
A glorious quest.
Forsooth, is the gasoline with the highest of octane available here?
Regretfully no, O'Don.
Courage, Sancho. We shall prevail.
Glorious.
Have Have you the highest octane gasoline at any station?
But of course.
You do?
Doubtlessly, 'tis Sunoco 260.
Truly?
Truly and verily. And observe, noble sir, Sunoco's custom blending pump blends 260 into every gallon of premium, middle premiums, even regular.
Even regular? Surely you jest.
I jest not. Every gallon from regular up gives you 260 action.
Glorious.
So even your car can burst forth with all the power built within.
Sancho, our quest is ended. Glorious.
Get Sunoco 260 Action. Action to be used, not abused.
3 minutes and 21 seconds remain in the first period here in Kansas City. The New York Jets, the Kansas City Chiefs. Score, the Chiefs, 7-0. The Chiefs with the 1st and 10. And you see, Lenny Dawson has had some football career.
Dawson remains at quarterback. Podolak at Holmes at running back.
Dawson remaining at quarterback. Wendell Holmes replaces Podolak.
Podolak's been compared to a lot of different kind of players. We were talking to him yesterday. He says, you know, I was quarterback there for a long time. He said, but nobody ever really told me how to throw. He said, now I'm a running back. Nobody really ever told me how to run. I think he does both of them pretty well.
Good enough for a first down, that completion. Kansas City with 109 yards. New York, thus far, 9 yards. The triple flanker right. On 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. And here comes Pitts back in motion. He'll be picked up by Holloman. The ball goes to Holmes. And Holmes battling over the 35-yard line.
Robert Holmes, number 45, with the ball.
And the last man getting up was Roger Finney, number 61. Kansas City has gained 113 yards net, unofficially to this point. The Jets only 9. In perspective, one rarely sees a team move the Jets' defense the way Dawson and the Chiefs are doing it tonight.
On 2nd down, make it a long 4. Out to the left is Pitts, covered there by Early Thomas. To the right, Taylor, covered by Tannen. The draw play. Podolak over the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Dropped in there by Larry Grantham.
Larry Grantham, 60, and Al Atkinson, 62, leading the tackles.
Roger Finney is getting a lot of action this evening.
You see 61. Who is Roger Finney? Mormon is 76, and he's coming back in there. This was a draw, a delayed kind of thing. I'm sure Finney was trying to follow the flow in the backfield. That's a very good draw. The fullback, who was Holmes, went to that side. They dropped the ball to Podolak as he came by.
On 3rd and 1. Once before, Dawson went with the play fake and went for the touchdown attempt. This time, the ball goes to Podolak.
Oh, they hit him.
And he is not going to pick up that first down, I don't believe. See, number 51, Baker looking to the right. Roger Finney coming over to help out on that tackle. Hank Stram. Fine coach this man is. Many innovations to this game.
FL number 7 and Chris Sarasopoulos, number 19, deep receivers for the Jets.
All right, back to do the punting. This is Gerald Wilson. And deep for the Jets, Chris Farasopoulos and Eddie Bell, number 7. 19, Farasopoulos. Bell on the left side, number 7. Farasopoulos will have running room for a moment. Farasopoulos up to just about the 20-yard line. And with timeout, the score is Kansas City 7, the New York Jets nothing.
George Daney, 60, Robert.
There's no telling what you'll run into on the highways these days. But this new Firestone Superbelt tire has strong cords for extra long mileage. Strong sidewalls for extra long mileage.
strong bonding of the tread to the body of the tire for extra long mileage. Super Belt from Firestone. Test after test shows it can give you far beyond the mileage of ordinary non-belted tires. Longer mileage because Firestone Super Belt is double belted. Belted twice to make it twice the tire. Super Belt from Firestone, the mileage specialist.
Wayview Bank, he's won championships in both the old AFL, the NFL with the Baltimore Colts. A truly great record. Hank Strand, the Super Bowl champion in 1969. Has brought many, as I said, innovations to this game. As the Jets take over 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line, their own 20. This is Matt Snell behind Herman, Dave Herman, the guard, 67.
Matt Snell, number 41.
Coming up hard is Johnny Robinson from his free safety spot.
You'll note, Frank, in the Jets' scheme of running things, Snell invariably carries to the left. They have yet really to give the ball to Emerson Boozer, who usually runs right.
Dr. 1320.
Second down. And we'll make it a long 7 yards for Al Woodall as he puts Castor to the left, Maynard to the right. Lamons, the tight end, is on the right side. Looking for Castor. And back there to help out Emmett Thomas was Jim Lynch, number 51. And what a fine linebacking group this Kansas City Chief has.
They're so physical on defense, they're overwhelming. Did you see Curly Culp break through there, Don, number 61?
I saw him yesterday when I shook hands. I assured him one more time that I was retired. He is really something else.
And we'll see them again on the passing situation for Al Woodall, number 61. Curly Culp, 86, Buck Buchanan. Aaron Brown, 87 at the right end. Marvin Upshaw at the left end, number 81. Out to the right comes Maynard, covered by Marcellus. To the left, Castor, covered by Emmett Thomas. Chiefs in their stack defense.
There he is, Curly Culp.
Curly Culp, Buck Buchanan. And they, as Howard put it, are very physical. And that'll bring up 4th down, and it'll also bring on Steve O'Neill. As we watch Matt Snell come to the sidelines.
Deep receivers for Kansas City. Steve O'Neill going into front formation as the first quarter comes to an end.
And that's the end of the first quarter. NFL Monday Night Football. The New York Jets versus the Kansas City Chiefs continues from Municipal Stadium in Kansas City with the score, the Chiefs 7, the Jets nothing.
We're back, driving home the same point about anti-leak Zerex antifreeze. It stops most common radiator leaks, just like that. Follow directions. Flush a dirty cooling system first. Zerex guarantees you complete satisfaction for a full year or write DuPont for your money back. Anti-leak Zerex, guaranteed not to run out on you.
Man in the Neanderthal period, the Cro-Magnon period, and the all-wet period. Note the slick-down hair. Today, of course, the look is dry and natural. So Command was created to hold without looking wet or oily. Blue label for normal hair, silver for stubborn, and red with natural grooming conditioners. Oh, Command Tahitian Lime Antiperspirant to help keep modern man dry, period.
I'm Len Dawson of the Kansas City Chiefs. When it's time to turn on, I do it my way. Can you do it without drugs?
Deep for Kansas City to take the kick of O'Neill of the Jets. Number 19 is Mike Sensabaugh, the rookie from Ohio State. Number 26 at the top of your screen, Lewis Porter. And kicking from his end zone, Steve O'Neill. End over end, and Porter will try it.
Porter was going the wrong direction.
Bill Zapalak barreling down on Porter.
Tackled by Bill Zapalak, number 53.
Zapalak's University of Texas boy has a coach down there. He's quite a football player in college.
Kansas City takes over on the 37-yard line. Again, good field position for Lynn Dawson, who remains in this football game.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Dawson sends Taylor to the right. Out to the left is Frank Pitts, who calls Holmes back into the set position. Again, the play fake. Dawson trapped in there by Mark Lomas. This for a loss of about 3 yards.
The owner of a 1970
You take a look here. This was that punt before. You watch Bill Zapalak, number 53. He's coming down there playing off one defender. Actually played off two. That's just great pursuit.
1172.
Pursuit, eh?
Pursuit. That means keeping your eye on him and following him up.
Second down now and 13 for the Kansas City Chiefs here in the second period. They lead the New York Jets 7-0. However, they have dominated the game. Dawson. Wide receivers to the right. Over the middle to Taylor. Flag is down, but Taylor has the football.
You see old Holmes coming in and give him a block. Old Lenny kept his cool in there pretty good, too, because he had some pressure. Again, I don't think he really intended to go to Otis Taylor. Looks like they're bringing that one back.
And that game will be nullified. Offensive holding, Kansas City Chiefs. Number 17 in the ball game now for the Kansas City Chiefs is Elmo Wright, the number 1 draft pick from the University of Houston, and what a fine collegiate career had Elmo Wright.
Second and 13 at the 34.
As you look at the first quarter stats there, I mentioned the fact that Elmo assured me yesterday that he would wear number 17 with a great deal of pride.
On second down now, Dawson looking over the middle, and he is again caught by Mark Lomas. This time back inside his 25-yard line.
Suddenly they're beginning to get to Dawson. But did you notice on those stats a moment ago, Frank, the Jets are minus 18 yards rushing. This is the team that ran for 233 against the Giants a week ago. So that Kansas City defense is something.
Big people.
Third and 25.
Third down now for Lynn Dawson, and some 25 yards for a first down. Scott Palmer is in a defensive right tackle now for the Jets. He's number 72. Dawson. Taylor to the right, Pitts to the left. Hodolak in trouble. Finney, Roger Finney, busting through.
That's going to make Roger feel a lot better because he faces a difficult assignment tonight.
I think it's a real credit to Finney to have the ability to be even considered for an offensive or defensive position. You'll see that he's certainly no stranger over here when it comes to tackling somebody. He knows what to do. Played off a block real well. He is a fine athlete.
Played defense in college, Don.
I did too, Howard. I was an outside linebacker.
A lot of people felt you played defense at quarterback.
There you go.
Gerald Wilson to punt for the Chiefs inside his own 5-yard line. He'll be punting to number 19, Farasopoulos, and Eddie Bell, number 7. This one to be handled by Farasopoulos. Rookie from Brigham Young. Farasopoulos just tripped up by number 64. That's Robert Hughes. And with timeout, the score, the Kansas City Chiefs 7, the New York Jets nothing.
Wherever you find race drivers, you'll find the racer's edge. because they know nothing protects vital engine parts better than STP oil treatment. And millions of motorists just like you use STP. Because STP keeps their family cars running smoother, cooler, quieter, longer.
STP is the racer's edge.
Here's a child whose father loves shaving so much, he won't let him in the bathroom. Look at him. What causes this? Only Schick Super Chromium. It's so comfortable you'll actually look forward to your next shave.
Your boots need polishing. Sorry, sir. Your buckle needs shining. Sorry, sir. And you need a shave.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What makes the soldier so happy? Only Schick Super Chromium. It's so comfortable you'll actually look forward to your next shave.
Al Woodall in the Jets huddle. The Jets taking over on their own 49-yard line. And we have seen the Kansas City Chiefs, #1 draft pick. Almost right. And we will now look at John Riggins, the #1 pick for the New York Jets. To the left is Castor, to the right is Maynard. John Riggins, number 44, University of Kansas All-American. He has the football, and he gets through Bobby Bell and runs into Willie Lanier over the sidelines.
Number 44, John Riggins, driven out of bounds by Willie Lanier, number 63.
They know Riggins in this part of the country, Giff. He broke all of Gail Sayers' rushing records at Kansas.
Kansas City, 47-yard line, 2nd and 6.
Willie Lanier, number 63. I think there is no better middle linebacker in football than Willie Lanier. You'll see him play off. He didn't even slow him down. Great lateral pursuit. And Riggins is no small boy himself.
233 pounds, John Riggins, and it is now 2nd and about 6. Woodall looking to pass. He wants Castor, and he has him.
No ball.
And he drops the football as Emmett Thomas makes the tackle. It's picked up by Robinson. Johnny Robinson, who has already intercepted 3 passes in the preseason and picked up 2 fumbles. A great football player this man is. Johnny Robinson led the league in interceptions last year, led all of football.
Here he is, number 42. And every time I watch Kansas City play, Robinson reminds me of Larry Wilson of the Cardinals. He is always, it seems to be, in the right place at the right time. For an interception, pick up a fumble. You saw him make a great tackle a while ago at the line of scrimmage. Certainly a very smart football player, and he loves the game.
Credit Emmett Thomas on that tackle with an assist. 1st and 10 now for the Chiefs from their 35-yard line. Into the backfield, Warren McVeigh, along with Robert Holmes. Motion, Elmo right. Dawson's going to try right, deep. Versopoulos is back there for the Jets, and he comes up with the football.
Heck of an interception. Elmo Wright can go, can he?
Chris Versopoulos, the rookie from Brigham Young, the number 3 draft pick of the Jets.
Let me try to say it here on instant replay. You'll see Elmo Wright, number 17, and he is just taking off on a fly route. You see Versopoulos coming over, number 19, jumped high in the air and made a great catch.
NFL Monday Night Football, the New York Jets versus the Kansas City Chiefs, continues from Municipal Stadium in Kansas City with the score. The Chiefs 7, the Jets nothing.
To demonstrate a point, see if you can answer this quiz about cars. True or false? Disc brakes wear twice as long as drum brakes. A stabilizer bar gives better radio reception. An axle ratio of 3-to-1 gives better gas mileage than a ratio of 2-to-1. The answer to all 3 is false. The point is, to be a smart car buyer, you have to know a lot more than you used to. So Ford Motor Company has written a 2-part book. It's called Car Buying Made Easier, not easy, easier. Part 1 is all about cars in general. Part 2 is biased, because it's about Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury cars, facts, figures, and specifications. Look, Ford Motor Company wants your business. They're convinced that if you become a smarter car buyer, they'll get their share. To get your free copy of the book, Car Buying Made Easier, write Ford Motor Company Listens, The American Road, Dearborn, Michigan. They listen better, and they'd like to hear from you.
The Jets first and 10 from their own 15-yard lines. Chris Parasopoulos has just picked off a Len Dawson pass. Ball going to Riggins, trying the right side of the Chiefs line. Curly Culp, Marvin Upshaw there, along with Willie Lanier. Second down now and 7. Woodall sends Castor to the left. He's covered by Emmett Thomas. Right goes Maynard. This is Boozer, his first carry of the evening. He won't come down. Big Buck Buchanan has him.
Oh, they got him a referee. Oh, me. You got to stay alert out there.
Chris Parasopoulos, Jets number 3 pick, as we told you, picked off that Len Dawson pass. He holds the NCAA collegiate record for combined kickoff and punt returns at 2,454 yards. A lot of promise. Third now, and we'll call it 2 yards for Woodall. Castor moving in tight on short yardage. Boozer. Oh, and he squirms through a hole, picking up the first down up over the 25-yard line. Willie Lanier over to make the tackle, number 63 for the Chiefs. Tackling Emerson Boozer is like tackling a bouncing ball. There you see his statistics for 1970. The Jets' leading rusher last year. Also a fine receiver. Got 28 passes last year. All-around football player. On first down now from the 27-yard line. Castor left, Maynard right. Riggins right up the middle. John Riggins following the blocks of Dave Herman, the right guard of the Jets, and John Schmidt, their big center, number 52. And there's a big man in this football game now for the Kansas City Chiefs. I say big. Number 99, Wilbur Young. Came to camp at 305 pounds. He's a defensive left end, replacing Marvin Upshaw now. 6'6". He's down to about 285 now. Second and 6. Boozer. Flag is down.
Emerson Boozer carries the ball.
Wilbur Young, number 99. Robbie Bell there to take care of Boozer.
Joey Simmons called the stadium operator.
The discussion with Willie Lanier indicating the penalty will be against the Jets. Woodall, number 18 for the Jets, looking on. There you see it. Illegal motion. There's big Wilbur Young. 6'6". He's down to about 285, as we mentioned. He came to camp at 305. He told Don and I yesterday that that's the lightest he's been since he's been in high school. From William Penn,
Oskaloosa, Iowa.
Second down and 11 for the Jets from their own 21-yard line. They trail 7-0. 8 minutes, 29 seconds remain in the first quarter. And he dumps it off to Riggins. Willie Lanier is there, and that is trouble.
John Riggins on the pass, tackled by Willie Lanier, number 63.
Pickup of about 3 yards for Riggins.
That Riggins is 6'2", weighs 237 pounds, and ran a 9.9 when he was in high school. Little tidbits of information I'm passing along to you there.
Third down now for Al Woodall. Maynard going out to the right to be covered by Marcellis on a passing situation. To the left is Castor. The from the hash mark is Woodall. He puts Lammons, his tight end, to the right. Lammons will be covered by Jim Kearney as the Chiefs, as you see, faking the blitz. And Don Maynard draws the interference call from Jimmy Marcellus.
All right. Are you ready for this? All right, I can hardly wait.
Pass interference.
Here it is. You'll see Maynard. You see him push him right there. All right, he's pushing him again. Now, they call that pass interference. Now, with the help of my good friend Howard, I will read to you. It is interference by either A or B when any player movement beyond A's line hinders the progress of an eligible opponent in his attempt to reach pass, except such incidental movement or contact which may occur when two or more eligible players make a simultaneous bona fide attempt to catch a bat ball. This restriction ends for both teams when pass is touched. That's pass interference.
First and 10 for the Jets from their 41. Riggins with the football.
Ooh, he moves.
Riggins. Dropped by Jim Lynch. On that pass interference call, the defender can hit the receiver.
Yeah, but now that everybody understands it, Frank, everybody understands that, and we'll take a look at it again.
But not when the ball is in the air.
Now, don't start confusing everything, Frank. Took me 2 years to do that.
Second down now and 5 for Al Woodall. 101 yards thus far for Kansas City. 43 for New York. John Riggins. Castor's left, Maynard's right. This to Castor.
Safe.
And sliding out of bounds just over the 50-yard line. Emmett Thomas up to defend. As you saw, just short of the first down.
Castor is fighting with himself, Frank. He's dropped a lot of passes in his tenure with the Jets. He's still very young, has marvelous size, marvelous speed. Most pro scouts think he will become a very great player. But because of his many drops, he's begun to fight himself and worry a little too much.
There he is, Rich Castor. Third and less than a yard for the Jets. They trail 7-0. 6 minutes, 38 seconds remain in the first half. Riggins, and he does hit the 5-hole. Flag is down.
I don't know what the penalty is going to be. Excuse me, Frank. I don't know what it's going to be. We're sitting right here. It looked to me as if the defensive safety was offsides for Kansas City. That shows how close they're playing up on the line. I think Kearney was the one that was a little bit across that line of scrimmage.
Offsides against the Kansas City Chiefs. Wee Eubank looking on from his vantage point.
Or Eubank. Either way you want to look at it.
First and 10 now for the Jets. On the Chiefs' 45-yard line. Castor goes left, Maynard again right. Lammers the tight end to the right. The play fake. That's Castor. Emmett Thomas deflecting the ball, which would have been caught out of bounds.
Really a good defensive move by Emmett Thomas there, Frank. He was playing Castor, who has a lot of great speed. He's big size, good size, as Howard pointed out. You'll see Castor here, number 88, come off the line of scrimmage. That stride, about 5 yards every 2 steps. Emmett Thomas will come into the screen right here, playing him really good and close to the outside. Comes in front. A lot of young defensive backs will try to intercept a ball when they really should knock it away, and consequently they'll miss the interception and it'll be caught by the offensive player anyway.
Second down now and 10. Changes for the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll give those to you in a moment. Maynard goes right, Castor left. The Chiefs, as you see, 7 men on that line of scrimmage. Again, the play fake.
Whoa.
Bobby Bell blitzing.
Oh, did he ever.
Flag is again down at the line of scrimmage.
Goodness.
Second and long yardage is a good down to blitz. Down you can look for most all pro football teams who consider the blitz. They have a team in trouble on second and long yardage. They like to increase it. Face mask That will be another first down for the Jets. Hank Stram doesn't like that. Very colorful coach. He loves this game.
Number 82.
5 penalties against the Chiefs now for 33 yards. First and 10 now for the Jets from the 40-yard line of the Chiefs. Riggins.
That Riggins is going to help this ball club before this year is over.
Ed Lothamer is one of the changes we spoke of a moment ago for the Chiefs. He's number 82. Wilbur Young, 99, is the defensive left end. As you see, 87 is Aaron Brown. He's the defensive right end. Big Buck Buchanan, number 86, is the right tackle. A deep defensive team has Hank Stram.
2nd and 6 at the 36.
2nd and 6. To the right goes Maynard, covered tightly there by Marcellus. Left, Castor, covered by Emmitt Thomas, just as tightly. Woodall wants Maynard.
Oh, that
Off
was right
the fingertips.
there.
I asked Don Maynard before the game if he minded the bump and run tactics. He said he didn't. He happens to prefer that. And what he didn't recall was a couple of years ago, he caught 9 passes against Marcellus for 147 yards.
That's exactly why at the top of the game, Frank, I said that he has beaten Marcellus and Maynard has great confidence against him.
Of course, just the fact that he's caught for more yardage than anybody in football will give me a little confidence.
Might. Matt Snell back into the game for the Jets. 3rd down and 7. There's Marcellus. Up tight again. Up tight on Maynard. Backs are split. Draw play, Snell. And he drives. 51 there is Jimmy Lynch. Willie Lanier, 63 is there. Bobby Bell. 3 linebackers bring down Snell. He's going to be short. There's the first down.
At the 31.
And Bob Howfield, whom we mentioned a while ago, came to the Jets from Denver. Actually, he was brought to this country from England, where he played 12 years of professional soccer. And he was brought by, of all people, Hank Stram of the Kansas City Chiefs. His attempt from about, make it 37.5 yards. Bob Davis holding. It's up and long enough, and it's good enough. Bobby Howfield hitting from 37 yards out. And with timeout, the score is the Kansas City Chiefs 7, the New York Jets 3.
Tijuana Smalls, 10 for the road, baby. For you, maybe you know who you are. You know who you are, Tijuana Smalls. Mellowed like wine, baby. For you, maybe you know who you are. You know who you are.
Tijuana Smalls. You don't have to inhale them to like them. 10 small cigars, 10 for the road.
Getting onto the freeway at rush hour is a challenge if your car has this problem. Step on the gas and it stumbles, falters. That's called hesitation. In real cars, it may be caused by poor fuel distribution. If it is, you may get help from Esso. 3 new efficiency gasolines with HTA. Try a couple of tankfuls. For a lot of cars, that's all you may need to overcome hesitation and help you meet the freeway challenge.
Bobby Howfield gets ready to kick off. Number 3, who has just kicked a 38-yard field goal for the Jets. Deep is number 19, Mike Sensabaugh, the rookie from Ohio State. Number 32, Adam Lee. Oh, he hits this one. Will not be running that football out.
Woodall there, Al Woodall and Joe Namath talking to each other. He's saying, Joe, is this the way it happens every Sunday? No, that's not what he's saying. I'm sure he's getting some help over there. One thing you can be sure of, he's doing the best he can, and that's all you can ask. Almost all you can ask.
Chiefs will take over after the touchback. 1st and 10 from their 20. Len Dawson looking over the defense, probably seeing if there are any changes back there. Robert Holmes, Warren McVeigh, the setbacks. Holman has come in as one receiver, number 21, and this pass going out to McVeigh. Watch out. Early Thomas slowed him up just enough.
Oh,
Shake it up.
McVeigh's still down, I believe, isn't he, Frank? Let's take a look at it again.
The Chiefs either caught the Jets in a blitz or a linebacker blew an assignment.
Here they come. They are in a blitz, Frank. Then he threw that one quick. Look at McVeigh. Got to be one of the most exciting runners in football. Great move. You'll see number 17, Elmo Wright, coming in the screen here, and he's trying to play off. And wait a minute. Wow, he got hit pretty hard right there. Looks like right in the head. Like Holloman, and he's still down. Certainly hope he's not hurt bad. Fine football player.
I hope he's not hurt badly, too, because this was going to be his year as he saw it and as Hank Stram said it. Last year, Warren didn't prosper the way they thought he would. But this year, he was in better shape, and he seemed to have the kind of attitude that Joe Namath seemed to have had when he came into training.
Let's take a look at it again, this time from our end zone camera. You can see the Al Atkinson, number 62, Baker, the linebacker splits in there. You saw Lenny get it off in good shape. Now, that's just changing directions right there in the middle of the stream. This man's got some fine moves. Warren McVeigh, number 6.
What really sprung him was the initial move on Steve Tannen, number 21.
It's also a good move there by Early Thomas to prevent a touchdown because Elmo Wright was at least in front of him. Thomas came across Elmo, slowed Warren down enough, and wow, look at him. He knocked him right on out of bounds.
There he is, still on the ground, Warren McVeigh, and I think it was that shot of Holloman's who probably knocked the wind out of McVeigh. We hope it's nothing more serious. What a fine little football player. He's 5'9", 180 pounds, and that is not much football player to be playing in this league. Hank Stram on the sidelines, visibly upset.
Warren McVeigh set a lot of records down at the University of Houston, and that's the alma mater of Elmo Wright, who was blocking for him there. They were not teammates, however, at the University of Houston.
I don't like the look of it, Frank. I don't like the stretcher treatment.
You see the medical attention he is getting, talking to his trainer. Well, hopefully we'll have a very early report on Warren McVeigh. 67-yard gain on that play.
I agree with you, Howard. I don't like the looks of that at all. Talking to Wendell Hayes yesterday, who, well, he's at least conscious.
But grimacing in apparent pain, and, well, as Frank said, the best we can do is hope for an early report and hope that it's sanguine.
And it's what?
Optimistic.
1st and 10 now for the Chiefs. Lenny Dawson at quarterback. Ed Podolak has replaced McVeigh. Dawson, play fake. And he is in trouble quickly. Terry Philbin storming in from his defensive left end position. Did not go for that play fake whatsoever. Dawson trying to go deep to Podolak. Loss of about 7 yards.
The information, Warren McVeigh has suffered a rib injury and is being taken to the hospital.
We will pass along the information we just heard on the public address system that Warren McVeigh has suffered a rib injury.
2nd and 17.
2nd and 17. Out to the left is Wright. To the right is Holman. The draw play to Holmes. Takes one tackle. Larry Grantham is there. Roger Finney back in the ball game, also over there to assist. 3rd down now, and you'll see a big pass rush. As we told you, we will try and give you an official report from our people on the sidelines that he remains on the field. Obviously, in pain. As on the field, Lenny Dawson with the 3rd and 17, looking deep. And all alone, big Morris Stroud.
He completely fooled and beat the tight or strong safety, number 48, Gus Holloman.
And he's a happy youngster, and he is big. 6'10", 255 pounds, out of Clark College. He has only caught 2 passes coming into this game in preseason. Only caught 4 all of last year. Of course, playing behind Arbanis, as Howard mentioned earlier. But he picks up a big first down for the Chiefs. 2 minutes and 54 seconds remain in the first half. Mark it at about the 1-yard line. Holmes, Podolak, the setbacks. Dawson, the quarterback. Podolak following the lead back into the end zone at Podolak. There he is, leading ground gainer last year. Fine performance, 749 yards on the year. He can do it all, too. He's a fine receiver, and he throws the option.
Like you did.
Jan Stenerud to try for the 14th point. Lenny Dawson, the holder. Drilling it through the middle. And regardless of your age or your favorite team, if you're a football fan, there will be something of great interest for you at the expanded Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. One of the outstanding examples of the effort of the Hall to be a part of the changing pro football scene is the Professional Football Today display, a glistening new area that features the helmet, pictures, and up-to-the-minute information on every pro football team. The Hall of Fame, which was visited recently by President Nixon, is open daily throughout the year. So with 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, the Chiefs move out in front of the Jets, 14-3. Setting it up on Stenerud, and on the receiving end, Vern Studdard. Number 22, Phil Wise. Number 27 for the Jets. Last time, Stenerud almost kicked it out of the state. This is low and hard. This one will be run back. Nope, through the arms. Phil Wise, an opportunity to handle that one. Touchback will give the Jets 1st and 10 on their own 20. Dave Foley has come in at offensive tackle for the Jets. He will be working against the Kansas City Chiefs' Aaron Brown, and that will be quite a matchup. This is Al Woodall, who's gone all the way in the first half. Snell behind the block of bruisers. Caesar Elzar, along with Willie Lanier. Rob Snell.
Let's take a look at it again. You're going to see a great shot by this Willie Lanier, number 63, as he came across him. That's what you call putting them down. Goodness alive.
And Matt Snell has just limped off the field.
Matt Snell did not appear to be seriously hurt, but he was limping, as Howard mentioned. He is replaced by John Riggin. 2nd down now and 4. The Chiefs in their prevent defense. A little over 2 minutes remain. They're looking for the pass. This is Riggins. Riggins pounding for yardage. The big man moving up over the 30-yard line to about the 32. Bobby Bell is there. Ed Lothamer, number 82 for the Chiefs. Bell, 78.
Bobby Bell and Ed Lothamer on the tackle on the play.
And with timeout, the score, the Kansas City Chiefs 14, the New York Jets 3.
Right track with Firestone, Firestone.
Firestone raised white letter tires. for your kind of car, your kind of driving, at your Firestone dealer's High Performance Center.
You're on the right track with Firestone. Firestone.
Firestone, the mileage specialist.
If you think shaving your chin is hard, how do you think I feel? Up here, you really worry when the razor drags or pulls or scrapes. No more. I hardly feel this shave. I'm using Rapid Shave's new lubricating lather. It puts a coating of lubrication between skin and blade so the razor slides like a sled on snow. Smooth. How does it look? Rapid Shave's new lubricating lather. When it comes to your chin, use your head.
Matt Stell, as we told you, left the ball game a few moments ago, limping slightly. We've been told he bumped his right knee, nothing serious. John Reagans has replaced him in the backfield. The Jets now with 2 minutes remaining on the clock. Winston Hill has moved to the right tackle, where he has played for the last couple of years. He'll be working over there against Wilbur Young. As we told you, Dave Foley is in on the left side. The Chiefs are in their prevent defense, 4 linebackers in the ball game. Castor.
That's putting it in there.
And Willie Lanier is a little upset. See the Jets in their hurry-up offense. They have called this play in the huddle already, as we told you. They'll conserve their timeouts. They have all of them remaining, 3. And a quick one to Castor, hopefully to be caught and out of bounds, but I believe Castor never did get set for the full second. The flag is down. Early in the season like this, the 2-minute drill or the speed drill to conserve time is a little difficult because it does require a lot of coordination between all the offensive players. They have to hurry to the line of scrimmage. They have to remember the snap number. They have to remember the call. There you see the legal motion.
Penalty against New York takes it back to the Jets 48-yard line. First and 15.
First now and 15 as we look at Wee Eubank. He would like some more points going into halftime. He trails 14-3. Castor comes to the left to be covered by Emmett Thomas. Now laying off. They're not in bump and run in this situation. Maynard to the right, covered by Marcellus. Goodall wants Castor again, and he has him.
Same play.
Good spot. And the Jets go again with the hurry up, but Castor finding those openings.
New York calls timeout. First and 10.
You're going to see Castor, Richard Castor, number 88. This is a down and in or a cross pattern, but they are leaving some pretty big holes in there. The ball was drilled in pretty good shape.
Saw Castor working right behind Jim Lynch, number 51. Lynch was right in his spot, Don.
Yeah, he was, and actually Emmett Thomas was where he's supposed to be in his prevent defense. They just hit the hole. Woodall's going over there and check with the coach, see what he'd like for him to do right now. They, as you mentioned, will have to conserve time. There's a minute, 21 seconds left to go. They do have a first down. They would like to get a touchdown instead of a field goal. Now, that makes sense, doesn't it? Of course you'd rather have a touchdown than a field goal.
Well, now, Don, you said it.
Sometimes I amaze my own self.
You're getting better.
Thanks, Howard.
John Schmidt was also on the sidelines, along with Al Woodall. John Schmidt, the fine 8-year veteran center for the Jets. It's his job in this hurry-up type of offense to conserve time to get his offensive unit back intact. All right, first down now for the Jets. On the Chiefs, 34.5-yard line. A minute 21 remains. Out to the left again, Castor. Again, covered by Emmett Thomas, number 18 for the Chiefs. The Chiefs move up tight now. To the right is Maynard, covered by Marcellus. Split backs. The blitz is on. The draw.
Lynch. Fumble and the flag on the play. We've got all kinds of action here in Kansas City.
Lynch met Riggins.
New York recovered the fumble. A penalty marker is down.
And as Don mentioned, the marker is down.
Factor on that last play was Bobby Bell. Dr. 1197, Shaw Research Hospital. Dr. 1197, Shaw Research Hospital.
Call against Kansas City. The Jets will
Offside. 5-yard penalty against the
take anything they can at this point. They take the 5 yards. The down remains the same. Maynard goes out to the right. Out to the left is Castor. Riggins, Boozer, the setbacks for the Jets. Both backs going left. Castor again, and he has it. Well, they both had it. Emmett Thomas apparently took it away from Castor. Simultaneous possession, the ball goes to the offense. Flag again down.
All right, we're going to take a look at it. You'll see Woodall back number 18 on split screen. He's throwing to Castor. And as Frank said, on simultaneous possession, the ball goes to the offense. And there they are in the air. And he is down, and Thomas, I believe, takes the ball away from him after they get on the ground.
There's Emmett Thomas. And again, if you were considering the fact that Castor was out of bounds, he was in the possession of a defender. He did not have to come down inbounds. The offsides declined by the Jets. They have a 1st and 10 on the Chiefs' 11-yard line, and they're hearing some of the songs you've heard in the past, Don. I hate to bring it up.
Yeah, I hate to, too. You know, Woodall stopped everything there. The easiest way to stop those folks from hollering at you is try to get off a play. If you get off one, now when he comes back up here again, they're going to probably be yelling at him again.
You're an expert at that.
Yeah, we had a lot of crowd reaction where I'm from.
All right, let's see if he can get it off. He might go on a first movement just to do what Don mentioned a moment ago, rather than a count. Castor's to the left on 1st and 10. To the right is Maynard. Tight coverage by cornerbacks Marcellus and Thomas. Comes the blitz. Getting it off to Riggins.
Wow. Boy, did Bobby Bell pop him.
And he hit Woodall.
He did. His poor old head hit the back of the ground. He was up in the air a little bit trying to get rid of that ball. It was a good, clean lick, but it sure was a hard one.
Bob Davis is getting ready to come out, the number 2 quarterback from the University of Virginia, who's traveled around.
We're going to take a look at this. Watch on the split screen. Now, here's Woodall. Watch the one on the right, number 18. He's jumping right there to get over it. And here's Bobby Bell, number 78. Oh, wow. And that head pops back. That one hurt, folks.
I'll tell you, it's a pretty gutty throw and a good throw. Riggins had turned himself around. Bad position for Riggins.
I'm proud of him for just staying in there.
2nd down now and 10. Lee White is in, the 34. Oh, right in the hands and out of the hands of Don Maynard.
That was a good throw. Now, then you come up off the ground like that boy did and throw that thing in there. I like that. That's good.
You're absolutely right, Don. This is the best Woodall has looked in some time, and he's made excellent use of Castor, who's begun to hold on to the football. Prevent defense or no, Castor has several times, as the viewers have seen, caught in the crowd.
That was poor old Maynard over there. Now, Don actually could have had one a little bit earlier, I think. So, you don't think he switched that thing over to the other side of the line, that he's dropping them tonight, and Castor's catching them.
All right, the incomplete pass stops the clock with 1:03 remaining. The Chiefs out in front of the Jets, 14-3. The Jets with the 3rd and 10 from the 11. To the right is Maynard. Castor goes to the left. Riggins is back in the backfield. Castor, and is deflected and caught out of bounds.
Fantastic defensive play by Jim Lynch, number 51, and Emmett Thomas. They both had him covered.
We've just had word that Warren McVeigh, injured earlier, as you all saw, has been taken to the hospital. We await an early report on him. Apparently damaged ribs.
Bobby Howfield into the game.
Bobby Howfield now comes on for the attempted field goal. Howfield will kick from about the 19-yard line. Bob Davis, the only other Jet quarterback, will do the holding. And it's pretty, and it's good. Well, with 54 seconds on the clock, Howfield connects for his second field goal. There's Rich Castor. Joe Namath spoke of Castor last year when he came in as a youngster who was destined to become a great receiver.
He was fascinated by him and still is. In fact, Frank, Castor went down to Tuscaloosa when Joe was working out for his comeback down there, and Joe was throwing the Castor for 2 weeks down there. I've never seen Joe so fascinated with a given performer as this man because he thought his potential was and is so great.
So Bobby Howfield gets ready to kick off, and moving up close in the deep position, Lewis Porter, number 26, and Mike Sensabaugh. They are anticipating maybe a squib kick from Bobby Howfield. 54 seconds remain. Straight away. Sensabaugh just inside the end zone. He'll run it out. Oh, and he drops the football. The Jets have recovered the football inside the 10-yard line.
Woo, that was another hard lick, and he is still down.
Sensabaugh was really hit.
You'll see it from the end zone. Sensabaugh, as Frank mentioned, takes the ball a little bit inside the end zone, number 19. And he's coming out with it. And he does run into some folks. Woo, wow. I think that was Zapalak. Looks like Bill Zapalak again. He's doing fine. Up. You see the fumble was not. Man, looks like the Kansas City fellas got it. Man, looks like me that's Kansas City boy wound up with that thing. Yeah, I believe he did. That's right. Kansas City still got the ball.
Kansas City will take over. We received an indication from the official that it had been recovered by the Jets. Now 47 seconds remain. And with a 14-6 lead, Don, you might try and be a little careful down there if you were in that huddle, wouldn't you?
Very definitely. I'd be extremely careful.
Now 47 seconds remain. And with a 14-6 lead, Don, you might try and be a little careful down there if you were in that huddle, wouldn't you?
Very definitely. I'd be extremely careful.
You don't want the interception. You have a good lead. The interception could result in a field goal or another touchdown. Jets in their prevent defense. Up the middle goes Jim Otis.
Jim Otis, number 35, carries the ball.
There's John Riggins. We've been talking about him all evening. 6'2", 233 pounds. He is a fine football player, All-American at the University of Kansas. Broke all of Gale Sayers' rushing records there, the first pick for the Jets.
And John's just realized he's on nationwide TV in prime time.
Hi, Mom. Second down now and 5 for the Chiefs. Clock is running with 10 seconds on the board. Jets in their prevent. Ed Podolak killing the time.
Ed Podolak, number 14, the ball carrier.
Dawson playing conservative, as we thought he probably would. And that's the end of the first half with the score, the Kansas City Chiefs 14, the New York Jets 6.
There have never been so many better ideas available on four wheels as the 1971 Ford Country Squire. The three-way magic door gate. Works even with the window up. The rear window washer. Lockable storage compartment. Dual-facing rear seats. Power door locks. Tilt steering wheel. Hidden windshield wipers. In wagons, nobody flips, tilts, pops. Nobody swings like Ford, the Wagon Master. Nobody. Ford gives you better ideas.
James Francisca stars as Longstreet starting September 16th on ABC.
We're at halftime at Municipal Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, with the score, the Chiefs 14 and the Jets 6. Quickly recapping, the Chiefs took a 7-0 lead 5 plays after the opening game kickoff. They started from their 32, ultimately scored on a Dawson Otis Taylor pass of 20 yards, 7-0. The Jets struggled back with a 38-yard field goal by Bobby Howfield, 7-3, and then quickly the Chiefs struck again, the key play, 67 yards. Dawson to McVay, an utterly superb reception and run by McVay, who was injured on the play, currently hospitalized, 14-3, and then shortly before the end of the first half, another Howfield field goal of 19 yards, 14-6, the current score. Now, what we'd like to do with a new season coming up, we begin September 20th. Minnesota at Detroit, is acquaint you vividly with some of the very great new rookies in the National Football League, a couple of whom you've already seen tonight. And we will begin, well, we're going to let the footage speak exactly for itself as you watch the great young ones who are coming into the NFL. Jim Plunkett, #1 draft choice, 1971 NFL draft, working here with his university, Stanford. Jim Plunkett with the great size, over 6'3", and the ability to spot receivers despite on-rushing linesmen. Jim Plunkett, who can run if he has to, but whose arm has enormous power, the Heisman Trophy winner, everybody's All-America at quarterback. But it was the year of the quarterbacks a year ago, and Archie Manning of Mississippi was one of those who proved it. The #1 draft choice of the New Orleans Saints. A quarterback who knows what to do and how to do it if he gets into trouble. This young man can run with the football when he has to. Still another of the great quarterbacks from Santa Clara, #1 choice, Houston Oilers, Dan Pastorini. Likened by many to Bob Waterfield because of the power of the arm and the kicking foot. But also with Houston, unafraid of Pastorini's competition, Lynn Dickey of Kansas State, who himself possesses the great power in the arm. From Ohio State, the hard-stepping, powerful John Brockington, fullback, #1 choice, Green Bay Packers. Look. And the #1 choice of the Jets, John Riggins from Kansas. Hard to bring down. A speedster despite the size. Watch him against the Giants a week ago. The Giants have theirs, #1 draft choice, Rocky Thompson. All the way for the touchdown. Out of West Texas State, Rocky Thompson. J.D. Hill, #1 draft choice, Buffalo, a 9.3 speedster. Just yesterday, caught 2 touchdown passes of 60 and 63 yards. Clarence Davis, University of Southern California, with the Oakland Raiders, going 99 yards on a kickoff return against the New York Jets. And Jack Tatum, #32, from the Buckeyes of Ohio State, #1 draft choice, Raiders. Great one-on-one tackler, can do everything on defense. So there you see some of them. Time didn't permit us to show you #17 of Kansas City, Elmo Wright, whom you've seen briefly in action tonight. Leon Burns, the hard-running back from Long Beach, who's with San Diego. Don McCauley, the great one from North Carolina, with the world champion Baltimore Colts, and many more. And I might add that Archie Manning is sidelined at the moment with an injury, but he will be back shortly. A bevy of great new young players in the National Football League this year. You'll be seeing them on Monday Night Football. Now to you, Frank.
And at halftime, the Kansas City Chiefs, as Howard told you, out in front of the New York Jets, 14-6. NFL Monday Night Football, the New York Jets versus the Kansas City Chiefs, is being brought to you by Gillette Platinum Plus. the blades with platinum edges for smoother shaves. And by Ford and your Ford dealer, who invites you to come in and test drive the 1971 Fords, the cars with the better ideas. And we'll be back with more halftime action from Kansas City after this message.
With a rock around assembly, assembly, assembly. With a rock around assembly, we don't like dirt. But detergent gasoline helps keep our engine running smooth and clean. Sure, it's more below, it's more the gasoline. With the rock around assembly, assembly.
Use mobile detergent gasoline. It can help your car's performance.
When people have headache pain and want an extra strength medicine, they know about Anacin. Compared to the other extra strength tablet, even with its additives, twice as many people now use Anacin. And Anacin has twice as much of the pain reliever doctors recommend most. When you want fast relief of headache pain, get twice as much of the pain reliever doctors recommend most. Anacin.
That son of mine, Henry, his mother thinks he's an angel. Kid's married 6 months, still living like a prince. Found him with this. He said, champagne malt liquor, Pop. Looks, tastes, and sparkles like champagne. I told him, watch it, Big Shot. I'm not supporting you anymore. Turns out he gets champagne wherever beer is sold. For just a few pennies more. Boy, that Henry. Some people just know how to live.
I think you all remember Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch. We've got another great wide receiver in our studio tonight. Crazy Legs Everett, otherwise known as Richard Long, co-star with Juliet Mills in ABC's weekly primetime series, Nanny and the Professor. Richard, you're not out of character in being at this game.
Well, I'll tell you, Howard, it's kind of wild to be back here in your bailiwick for a very special reason. I think the sports fans around the country might be interested to know that we had Mr. Cassell in our bailiwick not too long ago. Howard made not what is really his dramatic debut, but I think your deepest plunge into that area on our show, playing Golden Arm.
Golden Arm Taylor, biology professor, wearing Lenny Dawson's jersey, and the fans are seeing Dawson tonight. I think what we should do, if we can get our indomitable producer-director, Chester Forty, to run the film, is show them the melancholy nature of middle age.
Well, not only that, are we in it?
We're about to go into it,
We're about
Richard.
to see the great Cassell athletic prowess here.
Set to unload a couple of bombs. But I tell you what, we'll begin with the quick popper over the middle. You show me the speed of Hayes. You show me the hands of Warfield. Men, let's go! Hey, here we go. Beautiful. Hey.
Hey, Miles, you okay?
Of course I'm okay. Can't a man stub his toe without someone asking him 1,000 questions? There you see the absolute futility of middle age. The point to all of this, Nanny and the Professor, changed to Monday nights this year on ABC, which is the place to be.
Right, Howard, and to point to one other thing, having looked at that film, you saw your moves. You saw yourself go down with 13-year-old kids. Why don't you admit it, Cassell? You're washed up.
I am completely, and Gifford is enraged because I wore number 16. Thank you, Richard, for coming.
Great pleasure to be with you.
Good to be with you. A reminder again that we're live in Municipal Stadium, Kansas City, and you're looking at part of the capacity crowd of 35,000, 13,000 seats missing because they've just been playing baseball here yesterday when the Yankees drubbed the Royals 10-3. The halftime score, as you see, Kansas City 14, the New York Jets 6, and the Chiefs have been utterly dominant. And now as I bring my two colleagues back into camera focus, Frank Gifford to my left and the indomitable Don Meredith to my right, we'd like to call your attention and put into focus many of the things that have been happening in professional football thus far this season. I want to begin with a certain young man named Dwayne Thomas. This is the age when each young man apparently must do his thing. Dwayne Thomas of the Dallas Cowboys, and Don, you know him. Talk about what's happening.
Well, Howard, I really don't know him as well as I could have. I could known him real well a few years ago, I could have used him. You'll see Dwayne here doing some of the things he did so well last year. He was the runner-up for the Rookie of the Year. Dwayne was a holdout. Dwayne wanted more money. Dwayne was eventually traded to the New England Patriots, and there's been some mix-up. I don't think the true story has really been, I don't know how to say the true story. I don't know exactly what has happened. Make the long story short, Dwayne Thomas is really not with anybody right now. The trade was not consummated as it was originally intended. Dwayne wanted more money. This is an interesting situation. I think all of us need more money, but I think we are getting to an area where there is a level to how much money can be asked, how much you can get, how much that actually the game, the sport, the team can allow. He's a great football player. I think football will miss him. In my opinion, Dwayne will miss football.
Thank you, Don. The philosophy of the Cowboy. And now to Frank Gifford for some talk about the former quarterback of the Patriots and the Vikings, Joe Kapp.
Well, maybe Don said it right. Maybe we look at it that way. Maybe the younger people don't. Now, Joe Kapp is hard to really understand. I know Joe. I knew him when he played his college football at California. I watched him play up in Canada on occasion. I watched him as the most valuable player a couple of years ago on the Minnesota Vikings Super Bowl team. He left a great football team in the Minnesota Vikings over a money dispute. Consequently, he was traded to Boston, where he had a very special contract, and I don't know all the details of the contract. It was not apparently a valid contract, and when he was not allowed to play with that contract, he decided that he was going to do something else. What exactly Joe's doing, I don't really know. I do know that he is missed because he is one of the most colorful players ever to play this game. I, for one, would two players I would like to see back would be Dwayne Thomas. I think he was a future Jimmy Brown. I think Joe Kapp was one of the most colorful and finest players we have.
All right, the story of Roy Jefferson, wore number 87 for the world champion Baltimore Colts, one of the premier wide receivers in professional football. Playing under a 2-year contract, enjoyed that great year a year ago, coming to the Colts by way of trade from the Pittsburgh Steelers, but not satisfied with playing the second year under his contract terms. He, too, wanted more money, reported late to camp as a result. Engaged the immediate disfavor of the management. You see Unitas throwing to Roy Jefferson right there, and was kept out of the starting role that should have been his in the college all-star game. Traded the next day to the Washington Redskins. He becomes the project now of George Allen as he rebuilds. The case, if you will, gentlemen, of Francis Tarkenton.
Well, Francis Tarkenton is one that, again, we're talking about money. Francis is a good friend of mine. I tell you, Francis, there's a lot of folks that pay them, let you play quarterback up here in what you call New York City, because there's a lot of money there. I think a player has to set his own value. What am I worth to this team? What am I worth as a player? And I admire a player for getting whatever he can. Get as much as you can out of football. This is all what we try to do. But again, I think there has to be some area of saying, hey, where does this thing stop? I think if this continues, you will see the contracts being renegotiated every year. And if a player doesn't play well, then the next year he will not be compensated as well as he was the previous year. It seems that the only compensation is up.
All right. We've been watching Francis scramble, and now let's go to the case of the brilliant kick runner and wide receiver traded from Houston to the San Diego Chargers, Jerry Levias, who for a while failed to report to his new team but ultimately did. Giff?
Howard, I guess that was the same situation when he was traded to San Diego, and at that point he had an existing contract, and Jerry Levias apparently went to renegotiate that contract. Again, we can't get into all the details because we most certainly don't know all the details, but this was the information that was given out that he did indeed want a new contract. I'm looking for the day, really, when a player has a bad year, that he goes to management and says, let's say, management, I had a bad year, take a little back.
You'll never judge a bad year for Jerry Levias by what he's doing right now on that gridiron. This is a gifted young player. Jerry Levias, another of the individuals doing his thing.
And we'll be ready for the start of the second half kickoff between the Jets and the Chiefs after this word from our local stations.
Anthony Quinn stars in The Man in the City, premiering September 15th on ABC.
Jan Stenerud getting ready to get the second half underway. Deep, booming kick taken by Studdard, and he fumbles the ball, but he wants to run it out. Following Phil Wise, he has a lot of running room. Vern Studdard.
It's make-or-break night for Vern Studdard, too, because the Jets have their regular back four, defensive secondary, and Thomas and Tannen and Holloman and W.K. Hicks, who's out tonight. Studdard has to prove himself as a specialty man, mainly as a kick runner. He's not going to make it as a wide receiver. That kind of kick run back will impress the coaches, you can be sure.
Mike Sensabaugh made that fine stop of Studdard, who almost broke it all the way. Bob Davis now at quarterback for the Jets, number 15, replacing Al Woodall, who went the entire first half. First and 10 for the Jets on their own 47. The handoff goes to John Riggins. Riggins.
John Riggins, number 44, the ball carrier.
As we wait for the action to develop in the early going in the second half, Frank, I think we should tell the viewers that as you and I finished talking about Jerry Levias, Holland Sparry, the general manager of the Chargers, walked into the booth, and Don Meredith had a word for him. What was it, Don?
Is it true, Holland, that you gave him half the franchise? And he said absolutely not.
Harlan Savary here looking at personnel. Cuts will be made by teams tomorrow. The Jets now with 2nd and 8. There's ball resting just about the 50-yard line. Riggins again, pounding. No room there. Cuts back. What agility. 233 pounds for this man. Excuse me. I'm sorry. That's Clifford McLean, who has replaced Riggins in that backfield.
Clifford McLean, number 42, the ball carrier.
Well, we'll get him straight soon.
Clifford McLean is from South Carolina State. He was hidden by Weeb Eubank last year. Taxi. I know that Snell and Boozer feel that this young man has the potential of being one of the superior running backs in football. He is green, doesn't yet know how to pick up blitzes, for instance. But he's going to get his shot, I'm convinced of it, this year.
On 3rd and 3, the tight short yardage formation for the Jets. Ball resting on the 45-yard line of the Chiefs. This is Riggins. Marcellus up. Riggins takes off Marcellus. Johnny Robinson comes out to put the tag on the hard-running John Riggins. No first down.
As the Jets get ready to kick, Frank, one more point on our halftime show when we showed the young men who wanted more money. It wasn't our place, as Don and Frank pointed out, to criticize them. And we'll finish this after this play. We want to talk about men like Starr and United.
This is Steve O'Neill. Hale with an end-over-end kick, and a fair catch indicated, and the ball allowed to roll free into the end zone. The flag goes down on the 5-yard line. Well, we'll try and figure this one out for you in just a moment.
A flip.
There is the indication. Gary Arthur was the recipient of quite a clip.
We'll take a look at it on replay. Number 82, Gary Arthur. And he sure did get clipped. Got up and kept going.
David Hadley putting that clip on Arthur as the Kansas City Chiefs with Mike Livingston at quarterback take over 1st and 10 on their own 10-yard line. Half the distance to the goal was the call. This is Livingston. He can run.
Home boy, home boy.
Ralph Baker stops the scrambling Mike Livingston.
His teammates call him home boy.
Another flag down, back at the line of scrimmage, and the Chiefs walking dejectedly back to that area.
And the fans getting more and more enraged. The only point I know, Frank, and Don, you both wanted me to make, is that while some men hold out and they have every right to do so, and while there's a quarrel about how much they should get, A man of 38 like Unitas and a man of 37 like Starr, two of the very greatest who have ever played at their position in the game, seek to come back after surgery in their respective cases. And you never hear any quarrels about them.
I'd like to comment on that in a minute, too, Howard. Let's watch old Mike Livingston here. See what he can do. He's not in a very good position right now.
First down and 16 for Mike Livingston. Again, the holding penalty, half the distance to the goal. Odelac. And he's met hard. Gary Philbin, number 81. Number 51. Baker was also there. Mike Livingston, before someone else brings it up, Don, he's an old SMU Mustang.
You didn't think I'd forget to bring that up, did you, Mike? You know, they got two of them up here. Livingston broke my records real easy. Then they got Chuck Hickson, who broke his. And I told them both yesterday, records don't mean anything.
Sounds like
hey, look at there. Look at there what they're doing, Don. Isn't that nice of those folks here in Kansas City?
Second down now and 16. Livingston. And picked off. This is Grantham.
Uh-oh.
The easy touchdown.
Uh-oh.
Larry Grantham, a 12-year veteran. That pass intended, I believe, for Holman.
That's his second pickoff tonight.
He is a smart one. He's always where the football is.
You know, he's not big, but he really is a heady football player.
All right, you see Mike Livingston. Yep, that was the handoff in the photo line.
Well, Bobby Howfield will come onto the field. And the Jets are looking for some people. Someone didn't check the board well before they came onto the field. And there's Larry Grantham going in with that chip shot.
That looked pretty funny. All of a sudden, four guys walk out there. It's hard for four of them to forget. Two of them finally showed up.
Bob Davis now will hold. Bob Howfield. Howfield, kick good. So the Jets move closer. There's Larry Grantham. He's been around a long time, this youngster. Ole Miss.
All right, now we'll take a look at it. No, that's still not it.
Now we'll look at this one. This will be the kickoff. Bob Howfield has gone over to the sidelines to pick up his kicking tee. Deep for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mike Adamle. He's wearing number 32 and a jersey change here this evening. Mike Sensabaugh. Back along with Adamle. Howfield, who just really riffled his last kickoff right out of the end zone. 12 years, a professional soccer player in England. Bobby Howfield was picked up by a scouting expedition sent over by the Kansas City Chiefs. Hank Stram was released by the Chiefs, went to Denver, and last year acquired in a trade to Jim Turner by the New York Jets. Low. Sensabaugh. Wow.
Well, there's a flag going down.
Down right in the middle. Dale Graham down there. Tough for the Jets, number 68. And a flag is down.
Jim Williams and Phil Wild is on the tackle.
And this crowd is getting a little unruly. The Jets have had few penalties. The Kansas City Chiefs have had many. There's the clip call. Chiefs with 9 penalties thus far. Capacity crowd. The Municipal Stadium holds 48, but there are, because of baseball, only 35 here this evening. Okay.
All right, here's that touchdown pass we were talking about a while ago, and that was a great move by Larry Grantham, just sliding in there.
Lenny Dawson, back at quarterback. Looking for the big man. Stroud over the middle, and he can't hold on to it. Hey, he's a big target. We told you, 6'10", 255 pounds.
Howard was talking about Johnny Unitas and Bart Starr a while ago. It's been, it is my opinion, and it has been, that the guys that really are the successful people in professional football, number one, have to love the football game. And I think that Unitas and Starr, actually, there are no better examples than those two guys for really enjoying doing what they're doing. And they have been compensated well, and they are continuing to be compensated well. So it boils down to what do you want to do, and do you enjoy doing it? And I believe folks want to do what they really want to do.
Philosophy by Don.
There it is.
And good.
Out of Mount Vernon, Texas.
Second down and 10. This is Holmes in the flat. And moving over there quickly to get to Holmes was Larry Grantham. Along with Scott Palmer.
What was your original contract, Frank, with the New York Giants?
You trying to embarrass me?
No, I want you to tell me the truth. What did you sign for?
I was a number one draft pick, and I signed for $8,000, which was a lot of money when I signed. Don't ask me when.
Did you say $8,000?
$8,000.
$8,000.
And Steve Owen at the time was convinced that Gifford was overpaid.
For the first year, I was convinced. Third down now and 6. Dawson. Looking for Taylor. He finds Holmes. Ralph Baker, number 51 there for the Jets, picking up Holmes, who is close to a first down, and he has the first down.
It is great to watch Lenny Dawson work. You know, Don, the guy is never nettled. The primary receiver not there. He finds the secondary receiver or a tertiary receiver. This guy, through all the years, has developed, as you would put it, Don, a magnificence of poise.
I'm going to agree with everything you said except the tertiary. I never had any of those receivers down there where I was.
First and 10 for the Chiefs. On their 24-yard line, Lenny Dawson, 9 for 12, 186 yards. Starting offensive unit back intact. Ed Podolak moving over the block of Ed Buddy. Jack Rudney, the center. Jerry Philbin coming over from his defensive left end position.
Ed Buddy, you mentioned, another of the great veterans on that Kansas City offensive line. Have you ever seen a team so big? Honestly, Frank, you were in the clubhouse yesterday.
The nearest thing I've seen to it was the Houston Oilers this year and the team that Ed Hughes has brought together, but I don't know if you put them all on a scale, you'd have a lot of problems. You wouldn't get one that big to begin with. They are big and they are strong. Second and 5 now for Dawson. From the 27, the draw play. Podolak. Oh, and he's met hard. Down at the bottom is Larry Grantham, who brought the Jets to within 1 point of the Kansas City Chiefs lead a few moments ago, intercepting a Michael Livingston pass and returning it for a touchdown.
John, for what is, after all, just a preseason game, I can't recall seeing two teams hit this hard.
They're really hitting, and that Grantham's sure doing his part of it. I've always, every time I've watched Kansas City play, I've been impressed with their linebacker corps. And they really do have some great linebackers, and that's the heart of any defense. Guys can plug that hole.
Third and 2 for Dawson. He's unpredictable in this situation. And he wants to throw it. He's going deep to Taylor.
Oh, I tell you, that was what they call close.
Steve Tannen, 21 for the Jets back there covering.
Did well that time, too.
Joe Namath in the background. Looking on, talking with Al Woodall, who is now on the telephones after having spent the first half in action. Darrell Wilson, the punt now for the Chiefs. Sarasopoulos and Ed Bell deep. High kick. Will be run back. Eddie Bell. It's setting up. Eddie Bell looking for that picket line. But he was met by Bobby Bell, big number 78. And with timeout, the score is the Kansas City Chiefs 14, the New York Jets 13.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, John Brody,
Hi, John Brody.
Have switched to Gillette Platinum Plus Blade.
Switch to Gillette Platinum Plus Blade.
Because they shave me closer and with more comfort.
Closer and smoother.
No, wait.
That's how they shave me.
Yeah, that's not the way I said it, John.
Yeah, but I'm the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Gillette Platinum Plus. Double edge or injected with platinum smooth edges for a smoother shave.
Show the Platinum Plus injector blades, John.
They're smoother, too, huh?
Not to mention more comfortable.
Okay, I won't mention it.
John, let me explain something to you.
My antiperspirant is convenient. It's reasonably priced, and it smells okay. I just wish it had worked better for me.
If your antiperspirant doesn't do what you hired it to, fire yours and hire ours. Right Guard antiperspirant. Get the drying agent that really helps keep you dry.
Does my antiperspirant really keep me dry? That's hard to say. No, it doesn't. Not all the time, anyway.
Then fire yours and hire ours. Ours is Right Guard.
Municipal Stadium, Kansas City. Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell, Don Meredith. Kansas City Chiefs out in front of the New York Jets, 14-13. 8 minutes, 43 seconds remain in the third period. Bob Davis now quarterbacking for the Jets. Eddie Bell has replaced Maynard. He is flanked to the right. Clifford McLean is one setback. John Reagan's the other. McLean at 42, Reagan's 44. This is McLean. Bobby Bell, number 78 there.
McLean, 42, the ball, tackled by Bobby Bell.
For you folks wondering about Warren McVeigh, a reminder that our only report so far on Warren is that he has a rib injury, hit by a helmet on that tackle on that 67-yard pass play. And he went to the hospital for x-rays. I've just been given another note. He's on the way back from the hospital, so that appears cheerful.
Second down now and 8. That's a red dog down for the Kansas City Chiefs thus far in this game. They're up close now. Got a lot of pressure.
Heck of a move there.
Oh, McLean with a fine move coming up with that football. Good block by little Eddie Bell coming back.
Looks like he didn't have any cleats on his shoes. He was slipping and sliding around there. We got somebody else down out there, too. Those guys are hitting.
We're trying to identify the Jet that is down on the ground. Dave Herman, 67, the fine veteran right guard.
That's all the Jets would need. They lost their one backup guard for at least 8 weeks, Roy Kirkman. They're very thin at that position. They've got Herman and Rasmussen. 66 is Rasmussen. Both good veteran players who are on the Super Bowl champions. But that's about it.
Looks like he's going to stay in, so maybe he's all right.
Tough man. Say a little bit about that Jets offensive line. Winston Hill opened at left tackle tonight. And he has gone back to right tackle. And Dave Foley, second-year man out of Ohio State, has taken over the left tackle spot. Randy Rasmussen, 66, the left guard. Dave Herman, whom was just shaken up. John Schmidt is the center, number 52, and a fine one he is. Now both wide receivers, Rich Castor and Eddie Bell, come to the left on 3rd and 3. McLean and Regan, the setbacks. Bob Davis has replaced Woodall at quarterback. The play fake, wanting to go deep, and he has McLean, but he throws it on the wrong side. Jim Lynch back there covering McLean, and that's the situation you like to get when you say, Don, a linebacker covering a halfback man for man.
I was really just sitting there thinking, Frank, that was a heck of a pattern. They set that slot formation over this side and brought McLean out of the backfield. And those backs took off. That puts him man-to-man on Lynch, and it's really one of the reasons why you see the linebackers getting so much. They're getting faster linebackers because they're getting that one-on-one coverage with these backs coming out of the backfield.
And on 4th down, Steve O'Neill will punts the football, and he kicks a high one. This one. A fair catch indicated by Mike Sensabaugh, 37-yard punt. And with timeout, the score, the Kansas City Chiefs 14, the New York Jets 13.
It's exactly what you'd expect from Sweden. A different kind of tobacco. Borkum Riff. It's a bourbon flavor smoke. A softer, milder smoke sport 'em with. It's another thing that Swedish women like about Swedish men.
You and your car get along beautifully until you stop. But step on the gas again and you disagree. You want to go. Your car hesitates for the longest second in driving. If that hesitation is caused by poor fuel distribution, Esso may help. We've got 3 new efficiency gasolines with HTA. Try a couple of tankfuls. In a lot of cars, that may be all you need to overcome hesitation and end the longest second.
Dave Herman, been around 8 years, Michigan State. Shaken up a few moments ago. He's up ready to go again. There's the Chiefs. With the ball in play from their own 27-yard line. Going pretty much with a veteran unit. They're not trying much this evening. Robert Holmes, Ed Podolak at the setbacks. Lenny Dawson has relieved Mike Livingston. And they come out in their funny stacked offense to the left. They'll send motion out. They did not. Just lateral to Podolak. Holmes with a fine block. Ralph Baker over there for the Jets to stop Podolak. Saw Robert Holmes put on a nice block for Podolak.
Can't get over the difference in Bobby this year from a year ago, Frank. I don't think you got to see him much, if at all, last year, but he was way out of shape. He's a good one when he's right, Don.
That's the reason why they call him the Tank.
First down. Dawson 10 for 14, 197 yards, 72%. Podolak wants to throw the ball. He flips it off.
Flip.
No, they don't go over.
Yeah, you don't get that one over.
One of the main things you have to do on that option is make it look like a run. And that time, Podolak, maybe if he would have put it away a little more and drive like he's going to come with the end run. And thus far, to my knowledge, the Chiefs have not even used the end run.
You're listening to the expert on the option because nobody ever executed it better than Frank Gifford and Paul Hornung.
Back in those days, the ball was rounder. On second down, Dawson looking again.
He hit it.
Throw, misses Tannen.
And he may go.
Holmes could stop him. Steve Tannen picking that off.
Oh, Lenny has been completing a lot of them tonight, but 3 of them have gone to the Jets. It hadn't been one of his better nights. He hit old Tannen right in the arms with that one. Got some pressure back there before he threw.
You know, it's interesting, though. Hank only planned to play Lenny a quarter and a half. Eubank was supposed to use a lot of his substitutes. Both coaches have deviated from their respective game plans. Lenny had very recent surgery for a physical defect not related to any football.
That's going to keep him guessing.
Hank Stram likes to win them all. I believe Eubank pointed out today that Hank does like to win. They're good friends. He just says that Hank will probably change his vest every quarter. First and 10. Davis. That's Eddie Bell. Just overthrown. Back there. Jimmy Marcellus. Johnny Robinson coming over from his free safety spot. I think Weeb is referring to the fact that Hank is one of the most colorful coaches around.
He was at SMU when I went to SMU as a backfield coach. And my freshman year, they had a coaching change there. He was with Woody Woodard. I was looking forward to playing with Hunter. Hank never did get a chance to.
Second down now and 10. Out to right is Bell. Caster's to the left. Caster covered by Emmett Thomas, 18. Marcellus is on Bell. Flag goes down.
Well, while we wait to see about this call, Don, you mentioned Hank Stram as the backfield coach at SMU. That'll make the fans feel a little better. Remember when Hank tried to contact you when Dawson had the knee injury a couple of years back? You were over in Africa doing a stint for the American Sportsman. He wanted you to come out of retirement. He was trying to make a deal to get you.
I knew I should have never gone to Africa. I could have probably been on a Super Bowl team, hadn't I?
There he is, Hank Stram. Bob Swias, who was acquired just a few days ago from Oakland, has been replaced by Dave Foley on the Jets at offensive left tackle. Swias is having a little difficulty, We've Eubank mentioned, with the count signal, having only worked out twice with the Jets. Second down now on 15. Bell to the right, Cass to the left. Davis is in a crowd. The blitz. Curly Colt there, Aaron Brown, 87. Also busting in, Jim Lynch, number 51. Well, they're consistent on that second and long yardage with their blitz.
Been pretty successful with it, haven't they, Frank?
All right, into the backfield. The flanking position is Vern Studdard, rookie from Ole Miss. Eddie Bell goes to the right on 3rd and 21. Studdard to the left. This is McLean. Clifford McLean. Picking up about 5 yards.
Well, he got him in shape right in the middle of that middle of the field for this, what could be the go-ahead field goal.
The Jets trailing the Chiefs with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remain in the third period by 1 point, 14-13. And Bobby Howfield, if I put them out in front, attempt from the 39-yard line, make it to 34. Howfield has already kicked 2 field goals. Long enough, and it's good enough.
He did it.
Bobby Howfield.
You know, when you think back to that,
out in front. And with timeout, the score is the New York Jets 16, the Kansas City Chiefs 14.
Announcing the new Pinto 3-door runabout. Pure Pinto, front to back. With an extra surprise, bringing up the rear. Up goes the third door, and the new Pinto runabout packs more fun than any little import. It's the little car with the 5-foot trunk. The Pinto 3-door runabout. The third door makes packing simple and easy. Deep pile carpeting is standard in the front and rear area. And with the rear seat up, there's room for 4. New Pinto 3-door runabout. Easy to pack, easy to pay for. And Pinto is built to go and go and go. See the new Pinto 3-door runabout at your Ford dealer. Packs more fun than any little import. Pinto, the little carefree car from Ford.
Defense and this man, Bobby Howfield, has met the difference here at Municipal Stadium in Kansas City. Howfield with 3 field goals, 38, 11, and 27. Kicking a low squibber that will go into the end zone. Out of the end zone, touchback.
Howfield's having quite a night. When Eubank got him in the trade with Lou Saban of Denver with Jim Turner, the rap against Howfield was that he wasn't accurate on the field goals. He kicked 3 for 3 of those. And except for the opening game kickoff tonight, he's been extremely good on the kickoff. So he's making that trade at the moment look pretty good from the Jets' point of view. But I'll tell you this, there's no more consistent field goal kicker in football from maybe up to 42, 43 yards out than Jim Turner.
Lenny Dawson stays in the game for the Chiefs. Podolak and Holmes, the setbacks. Otis Taylor, 1 wide receiver. Lewis Porter has come in for Frank Pitts, flank to the left now. Again, the play fake. Taylor over the middle, and it's taken away by Holloman. Gus Holloman making a fine play to take that football away from Otis Taylor.
And here come those Bluebirds. Here's a replay of this. We'll follow Otis Taylor as he comes off the line. He's going across the middle. You'll see Holloman go up. Ball was a little bit out in front of Otis Taylor. Holloman made a good catch there. And I'll tell you, the interceptions have been the difference. When you look at this Kansas City team, the first time they had the ball, Doesn't look like the same team.
4 interceptions, and that's what's winning the game at the moment for the New York Jets.
Hey, I don't know what Bob Davis is going to do, but Namath, after an interception, good field position like this, would come right back in and go for the bomb. Davis has got Bell to the right, Castor to the left. McLean one setback, Riggins the other. He gives the ball to McLean. McLean up over the 20. About the 18. Here's Bob Howfield.
Leading the tackler is Johnny Robinson, number 42.
Trace of that English accent.
18, second and 6.
Gain of about 4 yards by McLean. Second down now. 6. Eddie Bell moving out to the right to be covered by Marcellus. To the left is Castor. McLean turning that corner.
Wow.
Behind Randy Rasmussen. Bobby Bell pursuing. Johnny Robinson, number 42, coming over.
Told you about that kid, Frank. Clifford McLean of South Carolina State. When I said 4 interceptions a moment ago, Frank, I meant on Dawson. Of course, there was the touchdown interception on Mike Livingston. So it's a total of 5.
And the Jets.
Thank you, Howard.
Now with first and goal. Arthur now has replaced little Eddie Bell for a little added blocking strength. Lamon and Arthur, both the tight ends, in on the short yardage. McLean again. Bobby Bell one-hands him, and a flag is down.
Clifford McLean tackled by Johnny Robinson. Penalty marker is
Well, this one ought to make the Kansas City Chiefs fans feel a little better. Gonna be a biggie. Dave Herman, number 67 for the Jets, was carrying on. I think he was the one who was accused of that infraction. And he was hot.
takes the ball back to the 20-yard line. First and goal to go at the 20.
Down remains the same. So Bob Davis will start working from the 20-yard line. Lee White has come in. Eddie Bell is backing. Bell goes to the right. To the left is Castor. Bob Davis, probably now concerned about the blitz. Moving up is Jim Lynch, now moving out. Middle screen, Lee White. I'll tell you, Bobby Bell, 78, is everywhere.
He really is. That thing looked like it was set up to go in there for a mile.
Not with Bell around. How many years has he been All-Pro now, Don?
I don't know, Howard.
He's got 9 individual tackles tonight. He seems ageless. The body is trim and taut. Yesterday in the clubhouse, Meredith tried to spar with him. Lasted maybe 10 seconds.
Second down.
Don't believe those stories, Howard. You don't stop that.
Second down from the 17-yard line. They had a first and goal. Vern Stettert is flanked to the left. Davis looking for Bell. He has him, and Marcellus has the football. Great defensive play by Jimmy Marcellus.
Fantastic. Take a good shot of Bell as he comes down. Watch him get hit before the interception here. You see Marcellus, number 40, come in right behind him. Wow. He does get wiped out. Marcellus made a great move there.
I'll tell you, that was a thing of beauty. Kansas City Chiefs trailing the Jets 14-16, 40 seconds remaining in the third period. Dawson pitching back to Podolak. Al Atkinson moving over from the middle linebacking position. We're beginning to get some substitutions now for the Jets, who have really quite a few defensive backs. They'll have to make some of their cuts in that area. Phil Wise has moved in, replacing Holloman at the tight safety. Word from the Wise. Joe Namath talking to Bob Davis, who just had a touchdown shot taken away from him by Jimmy Marcellus. That's to be quite a disappointment for this youngster. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. The New York Jets 16, the Kansas City Chiefs 14. We'll return after this word from our local station.
Fine films made especially for television coming on the movie of the weekend on ABC.
I'm Matt Snell of the New York Jets. When it's time to turn on, I do it my own way, and you turn on without drugs.
Clifford McLean taking on a little oxygen. Temperature here in Kansas City about 82 degrees. The youngsters had a busy night. In his second year out of South Carolina State. Shows a lot of promise. Kansas City Chiefs with the football. They trail by 2. Second down and 6. Lenny Dawson going all the way with the exception for a few moments when Mike Livingston is in. This one going to the big man, Morris Stroud. That was right on the money. Well, there's a matchup. Morris Stroud is 6'10", the man covering. Parasopoulos, 5'11".
What a target. And how beautifully he moves. For a man so big.
He has run the 40 in 5'7". With his movement. 5'7", or would it be the 50?
40? 40, you'd say 4'7". That would be good.
I'll get that straight. First down, 44-yard line. Dawson back again, the play fake. Oh, almost picked off by Baker. And a flag goes down. Attempt to Otis Taylor. And it, again, will be called off against the Chiefs.
Against Kansas City, takes the ball back to the 29-yard line.
And the ball moves all the way back to the 24-yard line. The holding call against the Chiefs. Kansas City has now been penalized 10 times this evening. Down remains the same. Number 29, Dawson looking again for Stroud, and he has Stroud. Otis Taylor. Otis Taylor running the square out right in front of Steve Tannen.
We mentioned earlier in the show what great moves, what a great target Otis Taylor is. His record speaks for himself. You'll see him get to the outside position of Steve Tannen, 21. Tannen never had a shot at him, really. He was looking back into the backfield at Dawson. Dawson, you may have noticed, also rolled out a little bit to the right side. It's a simple sideline route, and yet you've got to respect a lot of speed. You've got to respect the speed of a guy like Taylor, so I'm sure Tannen had that in mind.
Second down now and 11. Both wide receivers. Lewis Porter, Otis Taylor coming to the left. On the quick count, Holmes has the football.
Hey, they caught a blitz there. It was Baker, number 51, that hit him right at the line of scrimmage. He's also an outstanding linebacker, along with Grantham and Atkins.
The Jets have linebackers, don't you think, John, a lot like Detroit. They're not the biggest guys in the world, but they're active. They're all over the field.
They really are. The guys that can move in and plug up a hole in the middle of the line, then slide out to the outside, cover the end run. And we've seen 2 or 3 occasions tonight where they have, in their drop for their pass defense, it's been anywhere from 15 to 20, 25 yards deep. So they do move very well.
On the passing down, 3rd and 15. Out to the left is Lewis Porter. To the right, Otis Taylor. The big man, Stroud, is on the right side. This one intended for Porter. Early Thomas, 45 for the Jets, was right there in this partisan crowd. Thought that Early Thomas might have been just a little early. And that will bring up 4th down and bring on Gerald Wilson. Chris Ferrisopoulos, number 19, and Vern Studdard have gone deep for the Jets. High kick by Wilson. And it'll travel into the end zone. And with timeout, the score is the New York Jets 16, the Kansas City Chiefs 14.
They called him the Arrow Collar Man, and years ago he broke 1 million hearts all over America. It's true that his dashing good looks had something to do with it, but frankly, the shirts he wore deserve a lot of the credit. They set a style so popular that today Arrow has introduced a whole new line of shirts just like them. Who knows? They may help you break a few hearts, too.
We'd like to draw your attention to a problem called hesitation. A car that hesitates looks just like any other car, but step on the gas and it hesitates. It sags for a moment before taking off. Now Esso has something to help the hesitator. 3 new efficiency gasolines with HTA. After a couple of tankfuls, a lot of hesitators won't be hesitating. Try it and see if you can tell the difference.
Bob Davis and the Jets with a 2-point lead over the Kansas City Chiefs, and both football teams hitting hard. And I must be very honest, I really felt that the Kansas City Chiefs, off the workouts that we watched, would dominate this football game. But the Jets with outstanding defense, 3 field goals for Bob Halfield, have the lead with 13 minutes remaining in the 4th period. Bob Davis is the quarterback. Rich Casper is to the left. Vern Studdard is to the right. The wide receivers. Oh, jumping off sides is Marvin Upshaw. Big number 81, Marvin Upshaw, getting across the neutral zone. Not getting back in time. And the question, was he drawn off?
We were watching Upshaw kick field goals yesterday. Here's a guy that you wouldn't really expect to be as agile or fast as he is, but he can kick a football as far as anybody I've ever seen. Let's see him right there as he jumps back offside. He did the best he could to get back onside. It's all right, Marvin. You'll get him next time.
1st and 5. Studdard to the right. Covered by Marcellus. To the left is Casper. Covered there by Emmett Thomas. Here's McLean. That's the football that comes up with it.
Uh-oh.
Herbert McLean, the ball carrier, recovered his own fumble.
Willie Lanier over there, trying to take the football out of McLean's hand.
Tackled by Curly Culp and Willie Lanier.
McLean now 33 yards on 7 carries. Second and 3 as Castor goes to the left, Studdard to the right. McLean, 42, Riggins, 44, the setback. McLean again. Following the block of Dave Herman. And he moves up over the 30-yard line to about the 34. Should be good for the first down.
Wiley, call the stadium operator. Robert Wiley, call the stadium operator.
Bobby Bell now with 10 tackles.
Watch Herman as he leads this sweep. Frank, what all those backs long for is a good guard up in front can knock those folks around. McLean is a slashing kind of runner.
This is a fine football player, Clifford McLean. First and 10 for the Jets. Their own 34-yard line. Clock moving with 12 minutes remaining in the football game. Reagan running in to the right side of the Chiefs line. Buck Buchanan, number 86 there. Jim Lynch moving up from his right linebacking position.
Second and 6 at the 38.
That'll bring up second down. And Kansas City is not opposed to blitzing. They like to get their hands on the football. The Jets rolled up an incredible amount of yardage last week against the New York Giants. Are running the football here in the fourth period. McLean again. This time.
John Riggin.
Correction, that's Don Reagan. Don Reagan, the big man.
Sean Stern, call the stadium operator.
Maybe picking up a yard and a half. Reagan's with 34 yards now, 10 carries.
Alex Vanderheen, both call stadium operator.
Third down now and 6.
Third and 5 at the 39.
Bob Davis sends Vern Studdard, the rookie from Mississippi, to the right. Rich Castor to the left. The Chiefs with 10 men at the line of scrimmage. Flag is in the air. Out it goes to McLean. Johnny Robinson comes up and hits McLean hard, and a flag is down, way downfield. Steve Tannen was involved in another incident.
One at the line of scrimmage and one back in the Chiefs defensive backfield.
Jimmy Marcellus is also down, way downfield, where there is another flag, as you see the discussion going on at the line of scrimmage. There's Jimmy Marcellus. He was involved in a little run-in with Vern Studdard, way downfield.
This has been a rough, tough game, and you hate to see great players like McVeigh and Marcellus or anybody else injured and perhaps losing weeks of service to their team. It hasn't necessarily been the case tonight. Certainly not apparently in Marcellus's case, as he walks off and seems ready to come back. No, he'll stay out for the moment.
And we'll wait for the official call until, as we mentioned, there was a flag down at the line of scrimmage, a flag down deep downfield. The options are being considered by the Kansas City Chiefs. There is the score. The Jets out in front, 16-14. A little over 10 minutes remaining to be played. Willie Lanier, number 63. Emmett Thomas, 18. That's Johnny Robinson, number 42. And Coach Hank Stram listening in from the sideline.
From that conduct, 15-yard penalty against New York. Takes the ball back to the 24-yard line.
And the penalty is against New York. 15 yards. And perhaps we can see what happened.
I don't think we're going to see that. We'll see Clifford McLean take a pretty good lick over here. He's going on swing pass. That was a blitz. 42. There's Johnny Robinson. And Johnny does know what to do when somebody else has got the ball. I think that was a personal foul call against New York downfield. It looked as if someone had bumped into Marcellus a little bit unnecessarily.
Call appears to be unsportsmanlike conduct against the Jets. But apparently the Kansas City Chiefs would like some further clarification. That's Johnny Robinson, number 42.
Well, Johnny's not happy. What a player he is. He's the only original member of this team. Remember, he was signed under the goalpost by the old American Football League?
What happened to those kind of signings?
I don't know, but I do know this. He and Willie Wood of Green Bay have virtually written the book on how to play free safety.
All right, everything is straightened out now. 3rd and 20 for the Jets. Bob Davis, the quarterback. John Dockery is in the one flank, and running hard is John Riggins. Up to just about the 30-yard line. That's Buchanan moving over to make the tackle. So the Jets will have to give up the football.
4th and 14 at the 30-yard line.
Steve O'Neill comes in to do the punting. Dropping deep for the Kansas City Chiefs, number 26, Lewis Porter. Number 19, Mike Sensabaugh. Let's end over in. Porter. Flags all over the field. Porter scrambling for yardage. Penalties back at the 35-yard line. And invariably, when you see those flags go down on a punt return, it will be the clip call. Clipping, Kansas City. I believe it was against Gary Arthur. Perhaps we can take another look. And with timeout, the score, the New York Jets 16, the Kansas City Chiefs 14.
Pen, an instrument that's filled with ink. Flair, an instrument that's filled with love, joy, happiness, fun. Pens write words. Flair writes feelings. Flair in 12 emotionally charged colors. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, John Brody,
I, John Brody,
have switched to Gillette Platinum Plus Blade.
switched to Gillette Platinum Plus Blade.
Because they shave me closer and with more comfort.
Closer and smoother.
No, wait.
That's how they shave me.
Yeah, that's not the way I said it, John.
Yeah, but I'm the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Gillette Platinum Plus. Double edge or injected with platinum smooth edges for a smoother shave.
Show the Platinum Plus injector blades, John.
They're smoother, too, huh?
Not to mention more comfortable.
Okay, I won't mention it.
John, let me explain something to you.
Kansas City Chiefs taking over on the 20-yard line. A clipping call against them.
Here's a shot of David Hadley, number 23, as he's hanging around on Gary Arthur there. I think this is where the clip is called. But you watch Arthur get up. He's down. Here's the fellow that makes the tackle. Wiping his hands off a little bit, says, where is that boy? He's got the ball. And he found him right there. Now, that's hustle and pursuit.
Pursuit.
9 minutes and 29 seconds remain. And then one of the Jets having offsides.
Things are getting nervous here in Kansas City.
Scott Palmer getting a little eager. Down remains the same. 1st and 5 for the Chiefs, now from their 25. Lynn Dawson going all the way with exception. A few plays by Mike Livingston. Out to the left comes Frank Pitts. To the right, Otis Taylor. Again, the fake draw to hold the linebackers. Going deep for Stroud. This time Stroud throwing double coverage, and a flag goes down, and I don't know about that. Phil Wise, Chris Barasopoulos, both back with the 6-foot 10-inch Morris Stroud. You almost have to interfere with him, would you say, Don?
Yes, and his interference by either A or B with any player moving beyond A's line hinders the progress.
This one happens to be offensive interference.
I said any player, A or B, doesn't make any difference. You call one of them A, one of them B, but that's what is hindering with somebody else to catch the ball.
The call, offensive interference.
Thank you. I just carry this little wealth of knowledge wrapped up in my head, so if anybody wants to know what interference is, I got it for you right quick.
Down again remains the same. Terry Dawson now operating from about the 13-yard line.
What's that, Sandy? Rule 7, Article 5, Section 4?
It certainly is.
First and 15, both wide receivers on the left side. This one going for Otis Taylor. He has the football. Down he goes. And there's a little extra action downfield.
Telling you there's a lot of action here in Kansas City.
I want to tell you, that was a beautiful play then. You got to give Dawson credit, and Otis Taylor is just out of this world.
I'll tell you, it takes a lot of guts to catch a football. It's hung in the air like that. You know you're going to get bombed, and he was bombed by Chris Barasopoulos. What you do, you just jump up, clench your teeth, and hope it doesn't smart too much.
Sometimes you jump up and hope you still got your teeth.
First and 10. Now from the 37-yard line. Again, a little draw fake. Holding the linebackers, going deep for Otis Taylor. Bill Wise pulls Otis Taylor down at the 10-yard line.
He looks like he's hurt. Oh, man, what a beautiful throw and a beautiful catch. And he is hurt.
Steve Cannon that was, Don.
Yeah, it was. I believe he wrapped his legs up under him as he fell. He had Cannon by about a step or two. You'll see Rennie Dawson fake the run into the line again. Here's Otis Taylor to the left of your screen. Great throw. A great throw. Let's see if he doesn't twist his ankle here a little bit on this slow-mo. Great throw. Great catch. Steve Tannen's right in there behind him. Tannen's got good speed, too. And the chase is on. Grabs him by the jersey. All right. Now, right here, I believe is when he's going to get that. Let's see. And that's kind of fun to watch those. There it is, right there. See? He slid in there, and it looks like his left foot. Wow. Looks like me that should hurt both of those feet.
Otis Taylor, 2 consecutive receptions, and I think Steve Tannen might have picked up a little lesson there from a veteran quarterback. Usually you don't come back to a wide receiver after you've used him on a deep pattern, and Len Dawson did just that, Don.
You have no idea, Frank, what a moody kid Steve Tannen is. I had lunch with him today. He thinks he's ready to achieve excellence as a cornerback, but he felt he played beneath his ability last year and said he almost quit football.
He's got a lot to learn.
First and 10 now for the Chiefs. They trail the Jets by 2 points. 8 minutes, 15 seconds remain. Kodalak. Kodalak running hard. Ed Buddy, big number 71 out in front throwing that block. Chris Barasopoulos moving up to make the stop. There's Taylor now moving over to the bench where he'll get immediate treatment. And it appears as if trying to explain what happened. He could have either damaged the knee or an ankle. Steve Tannen rolling up that leg. Now the Chiefs have moved to the 4-yard line. Kodalak.
Kodalak again with the ball.
Steve Cannon coming up. Ralph Baker dropping back. We've just been told that Otis Taylor has twisted the inside of his left knee.
I hope he's not out for any length of time. You just can't ask for a greater wide receiver. I don't think any of us in this booth will ever forget Otis taking the sideline pass from Lenny Dawson in the Super Bowl game, January 17, 1970, in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, breaking the Ursel McBee tackle and moving on down for the score.
I remember. It was January the 17th. You're beautiful, Howard. I love you.
And you saw how much the Chiefs are short. 3rd and 1, and again, I'll point out that Lenny Dawson is totally unpredictable in these situations, even trailing by 2 and running out of time. Holmes and Podolak are the setbacks. Should he decide to run the football, a field goal, however, will put them in front. Podolak behind Mormon, 76.
I'll really be honest. I didn't think he'd try to go outside.
Al Atkinson moving over. And again, the officials looking across the field. They will mark the ball at that spot and bring the sticks across the field for the measurement. Fine block by Big Mo Mormon coming out from his offensive right guard. And it is a first down.
You'll see Podolak. Here's the guy that's making his first down for him. He sweeps to the right. Actually, there's a pitch out by Dawson. He's heading for that corner. There's Al Atkinson, number 62, coming in. Steve Tennant, number 21, trying to put the finishing touches on him, but he did pick up a first down. 1st and goal.
From the 1, the 2 tight ends, Morris Stroud, Bruce Berge in to handle the short yardage blocking for the Chiefs. They trail by 2. Podolak. Another marker down.
Penalty flag, Jets offside, penalty denied, touchdown.
Offside, decline. Bob Howfield will come on now for the conversion as Hank Stram. Not like what's happening. Probably more concerned about his injuries at this point. Otis Taylor would be quite a loss. John Centeroo. NFL Monday Night Football. The New York Jets versus the Kansas City Chiefs continues from Municipal Stadium in Kansas City with the score. Kansas City Chiefs 21, the New York Jets 16.
Next to buying a house, a new car is probably the biggest expenditure you'll ever make. But all too often, you end up buying a car based on what your old Uncle Louie told you, or habit, or emotion. Now, sometimes that works out fine, sometimes it does not. Now, because Ford Motor Company listens better, they've done something to help make you a smarter car buyer. They've written a 100-page book called Car Buying Made Easier. The first section is a how-to guide with things like how to buy only as much engine as you really need, how to select the right options. The second half is an in-depth look at the 1972 Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury cars, facts, figures, specifications. But Ford Motor Company has confidence in their products. They're convinced that if you become a smarter car buyer, they'll get their share of the business. To get your free copy of the book, Car Buying Made Easier, write Ford Motor Company Listens, the American Road, Dearborn, Michigan. They listen better, and they'd like to hear from you.
John Centeroo, the AFC's leading scorer from last year, kicking off to Phil Wise and Mike Battle of the New York Jets, going deep in the end zone, over the head of Phil Wise. Touchback. So the ball will be brought out to the 20-yard line, Don.
For a touchback, 1st and 10 for the Jets at the 20-yard line.
You see Podolak as he goes in for the score right behind Buddy and Tyre. A couple of pretty good guys to go. Watch Atkinson, number 62, as he comes in. And he gets a pretty good lick, turned him completely around, but he did get over that goal line. And the Chiefs go out in front.
A lot of football player, Ed Podolak. Quarterback for a couple of years before he turned to the halfback. 6 minutes and 32 seconds remain. The Jets trailing by 5. Bob Davis over the middle. Wow. Rich Castor holding on to the football up over the 40-yard line. And Joe Namath is getting a little assist. For the game, he had attracted quite a crowd as he came onto the field to watch the workout. A lot of cheerleaders he attracted.
You gotta be a football hero to get along with the beautiful girls, yeah.
First and 10 now from the 40-yard line. The New York Jets trailing by 5. Dockery is out to the right, Castor to the left. Davis, the quarterback, tried to pull that up, and it came out of his hand and ruled incomplete.
Lips one more time. That happens a lot. You get that thing back, you're excited, you've got a play call, you're going to throw, you go back, set up your throw, and right before you release it, you see somebody else with another colored jersey standing right in your way. So you try your best to pull it down. There's a good applause for Joe Namath going off. He certainly is top quarterback in football.
Going back out on the field on second down. 5 minutes and 48 seconds now remain. John Dockery, second-year man from Harvard, to the right. Rich Castor to the left. Fired over the middle.
Nice throw.
So I believe Gary Arthur will replace Pete Simons at tight end. Second-year man out of Miami, Ohio. He's a big one, too. 6'5", 230 pounds. Moving the ball across the 50 into Kansas City territory at about the 43-yard line.
Here's Gary Arthur again as he comes off the line. Zipped out in there, and he did catch it. You tell the boy wants to make the team. We've been watching him all night on his special teams. He's made several tackles. Exceptional tackle a while ago after he was clipped. Got up and still made the tackle.
On first and 10, Bob Davis sends both his wide receivers to the right. Rich Castor, Dockery. Looking again for Arthur. Picked off.
Emmett Thomas.
Emmett Thomas. Emmett Thomas. A clutch interception.
What an utterly magnificent play. You know, this hasn't been the tidiest preseason game we've ever seen because of all the penalties, but as you watch now the replay, take it over, Danny.
Well, that's Richard Castor, and actually, it looked to me as he had Emmett Thomas' feet a little bit deep. This ball was just underthrown a little bit. It is a good throw, and a good move by Emmett Thomas, but I think it was a little bit short. Castor, with that great speed, has stretched it out. You'll see Thomas make a good run back. Coming back in.
Game has been richly competitive.
First and 10 now for the Chiefs from the 42-yard line. 4 minutes, 24 seconds remain. They have a 5-point lead. Holmes. There's Buddy out in front, number 71.
Howard, I think you mentioned this earlier, but it is a little unusual to see Lenny Dawson, who is a veteran quarterback, play almost the entire ball game when he has John Hewitt and Chuck Hickson and Mike Livingston. This team has 4 quarterbacks, and they have. It would seem to me they would need to look at some of these guys a little bit, but he's got all the way with Lenny.
He's undefeated in preseason. Is Hank Stram, the head coach of the Chiefs. Second and 8 now. Wide receivers both to the left. Lewis Porter. This is Robert Holmes working up the middle. Dennis Holman, number 21.
Robert Holmes again, the ball
also come in.
Getting back to that Thomas interception, Don, as the viewers saw, you were right. Davis did underthrow the football. But what marvelous hands on Thomas's part. What a reach.
Certainly was. Great move. You know, those defensive backs back there have to be good receivers, too. There's Lenny Dawson's statistics for tonight. 14 out of 21, and then add 4 more on there as interceptions. So he's really only had 3 incompletions.
New statistics by Meredith.
Third down, a long 5 for Lenny Dawson.
Hit the ones that are open.
Ed Podolak looking for a first down in time up the middle.
Handoff to Ed Podolak, number 14. Tackle by John Little.
Moving over. Little coming in. John Little, number 57 for the Jets. And we now pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves.
Going into punt formation. Chris Perisopoulos, 19, and Mike Battle, 40. Deep receivers for the Jets.
So on fourth down, Gerald Wilson will have to give the ball over to the Jets. Deep is Perisopoulos. He'll have time to run the football. Perisopoulos brought down by George Stark.
I guess that's the cue to say that George Stark went to Columbia, the alma mater of our diminutive producer-director, Chet Forty, and for that matter, our rotund president of ABC Sports, Rune Allage. That duty discharged. Back to you, Frank.
Where the Jets will take over first and 10. A little over 2 minutes remaining. And NFL Monday Night Football, the New York Jets versus the Kansas City Chiefs, continues from Municipal Stadium in Kansas City with the score. The Kansas City Chiefs 21, the New York Jets 16.
B.F. Goodrich Lifesaver Radial Tires have the law on their side.
Post 3060, Unit 164. Signal red. Emergency. At Route 60 and 32.
In many states across the country, state troopers are driving like this. Driving hard on BFG Lifesaver Radio. In their kind of driving, they're getting up to 30,000 miles. In your kind of driving, BFG guarantees...
Municipal Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri. There is the situation as it exists at the moment. The Jets trying to come from 5 points down. Bob Davis is quarterbacking.
First and 10 at the 25.
First and 10 from the 25. The wide receivers are John Dockery, number 43, east to the right. Rich Casters to the left. Gary Arthur is the tight end, number 82. This is Bob Davis. For Castor, and he has to run. And he's heading for home.
You betcha.
I think it's John Henry Johnson who once said, better for them to say, there he goes, than there he lays.
Absolutely.
And he had Willie Lanier in hot pursuit. Good enough for a first down.
If they ever clock quarterbacks in a 40-yard dash going to the sideline, I'll guarantee you'd improve it. That's a good shot of that huddle right there.
He's breathing. Bob Davis. In his 5th year, he's traveled around a bit. Started at Houston. Stopped with the Giants for a while. Went to Cincinnati. Back to the Jets last year. Out of Virginia. His job is to get on the scoreboard. He needs more than a field goal. Looking downfield, again in trouble. And again running. He'll really be breathing now.
Yeah, because they caught him.
Big Marvin Upshaw. And the Jets will use one of their timeouts.
Upshaw is irritated that Davis originally got past him. Davis is an undisciplined quarterback. He needs discipline. He needs to learn not to move around so much. But as you can see, he is a tremendously fine athlete. He was drafted second by the Oilers a few years ago by so sage a one as Don Klosterman, the general manager of the Baltimore Colts. And this kid may surprise a lot of people. Thought to be a nobody because he has kicked around some. He's got a lot of versatility. He can throw the ball. Incidentally, Frank, in the first Jets preseason game, after Namath was injured and Woodall went out, Davis threw a touchdown pass against the Lions to Eddie Bell, who on that occasion beat Lem Barney. Then in the second game against Oakland, when Davis came in, he immediately threw a touchdown pass to Richard Castor. As you know, he didn't see action against the Giants.
Fine athlete, no question. He's a little tired right now, too. He just had to run that football about 40 yards. Beautiful little thing here in Kansas City.
Going to Kansas City. A lot of pretties there.
All right. A little over a minute and 40 seconds remain as Bob Davis returns from instructions from head coach Weeb Eubank. 1st and 10 on the Chiefs, 39-yard line. Again, the receivers are John Dockery, 43. He goes to the left along with Rich Castle, 88. Gary Arthur is the tight end. Steve Harkey is one set back. Clifford McLean the other. Harkey 36, McLean 42. Trouble. Ooh.
Whoa. Not that time. Bobby Bell. That's 11 individual tackles for that remarkable corner linebacker in this game.
We'll take a look at it again. You'll see a lot of pressure put on first by number 61, Curly Cup. And here comes Bobby Bell, number 78, and that is a sure tackle.
And here we are, back to live action on 2nd down. And believe me, Davis is doing a lot of running. Marvin Upshaw again, number 81, there for the stop.
He's beginning to look like Greg Landry, who led the Lions in rushing last year.
At that time, he probably had to use another timeout just so he could get the signals out in the huddle.
Rushing. Oh, sorry, Frank. Rushing average.
Glad you added that, Howard.
And he goes over again to talk to Weeb Eubank. What happens in those discussions, Don? What did you and Tom used to talk about?
Tom never would say a whole lot over there. We just go over there and I'd rest for a while.
You know, watching some of these guys, particularly like Buck Buchanan, it reminds me that, Buck learned a lot about this game while playing for Grambling College, that little Louisiana school that has produced so many outstanding NFL players. And the Chief Willie Lanier is from another outstanding small college, Morgan State University. And our viewers are going to have an opportunity to see this year's Grambling team in action against Morgan State on ABC's national telecast on Saturday night, September the 11th. The game is being played at New York's Yankee Stadium for the benefit of the Urban League. And we want to remind our fans in the New York area that tickets are still available. And that should be quite a football game. It always is when they meet. Bob Davis now getting a little brains from the sidelines, comes back in.
Earl Banks of Morgan State, Eddie Robinson of Grambling, two utterly great coaches.
And it's 3rd and 8. A minute 17 remain to be played. Davis again. He's going deep. He wants Castor. Overthrown.
He had him open.
Don't forget, Frank, September 20th is our opening regular season NFL Monday night game. The Minnesota Vikings with another powerhouse team against the versatile Detroit Lions, themselves still feeling the smarts of a year ago when Dallas beat them. The Lions felt they should have gone all the way last year, have a good shot at it this year.
Should be a beauty. It always is when they get together. One of those two teams quite possibly come out of that Central Division into the playoffs. Down to perhaps the last shot now for Bob Davis. 4th down and 8. A minute 12 remain. One timeout remains. Dockery to the right, Castor to the left. Overthrown, Steve Harkey, the rookie from Georgia Tech. Johnny Robinson back there defending. The ball will go over to the Kansas City Chiefs. 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining. Well, Howard, you mentioned our executive producer, Rin Arledge. I'd like to tell you that tonight's game was produced and directed by Chet Forty, our co-producer, Denny Lewin. Our replay unit directed by Don Ohlmeyer, our associate director, Lou Frederick. Technical directors, Bill Morris, Rolf Drucker. Assistants to the producer, Bill Yerrick and Howard Katz. Engineering supervisor, Roy Robbins. And our unit manager, Lester Lasuk. Quite a team right there. On 1st and 10, the Chiefs from their 36-yard line. Benny Dawson going all the way with the exception of about 5 or 6 plays. Hands off to Ed Podolak. Consuming time now, the Kansas City Chiefs. Out in front, 21-16.
Number 21 for the Chiefs is Dennis Holman, who's wide receiver, straight from the Cowboys.
At the 37.
You'll see great defensive play here by Little. Little fights off a couple of blockers and makes the tackle. Talking about Dennis Holman, he's from Muscle Shoals, Alabama. He says, be sure and tell Mildred and Jesse I said, hey. We called him country. I don't know why.
Second down now, about the 37. Podolak again with the time consumer. The Jets going with their final timeout. Stopping the clock at 25 seconds.
Well, it's interesting the way it turned out, gentlemen. We all three were at the Kansas City workout yesterday. We all three thought Kansas City, as Hank Stram walks the sidelines, boy, did he want this game. As all three of us agreed, Kansas City would probably dominate the game from its very initiation. It started that way at the beginning, but it didn't prove out. The Jets, on the basis of defense alone, which is their constant quality and the constant quality for any professional team, and Eubank is very good at putting them together, have held together and played a competitive game.
Third down, 25 seconds remain. This is Bob Holmes. Look out. Robert Holmes. Adding to his statistics, Steve Tannen pulling down Holmes, who possibly could have turned the corner for the touchdown.
I got a feeling Stevie's a tired young man tonight.
No more timeouts. Partisan crowd counting the game down. The Chiefs have now won their 4th straight in preseason. And they did it effectively, but Howard, I was impressed by the New York Jets and a fine, strong defensive effort.
Well, for the long pull, I think you better go to a commercial leader.
And the final score, as we mentioned, Kansas City Chiefs 21, the New York Jets 16. And we'll return to Kansas City's Municipal Stadium after this message.
The battery in this car is virtually brand new. The battery in this car is 2 years old. Now, after the lights have been on for almost 4 hours, now let's see which car starts. The one with the 2-year-old battery. A 2-year-old Sears Die-Hard. The Die-Hard, with extra power to start your car when most batteries won't. Sold only at Sears.
Playing football at Sagamore Hill meant playing with the president, Theodore Roosevelt. And that meant trying your hardest and getting all dirty and not being yelled at. To help preserve Sagamore Hill, we're painting it with Sears Best exterior latex. Because the house is right on Long Island Sound, it's important that Sears Best is climate formulated. We've tried to make a paint as tough as Teddy Roosevelt himself. Sears Best exterior latex for great American homes like yours.
Once again, the final score, the Kansas City Chiefs 21, the New York Jets 16. This is Frank Gifford along with Howard Cosell and Don Meredith saying so long from Memorial Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Air travel arranged through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. The airline chosen by 20 of the 26 pro teams. This has been an ABC Television Network sports presentation.
If you were a defendant, what would you want? A competent attorney with compassion? That's what clients get from Owen Marshall. Arthur Hill stars and Lee Majors co-stars as his associate when Owen Marshall Consular Law premieres Thursday night, September 16th on ABC.